Kips Clip.
Tonight at 11.
Doom! It's a plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning now! Excuse me.
This is not the Infowars Nightly News, where the answer to 1984 is not $19.95 plus shipping and handling, but the answer is to try and understand the double barrel bullcrap, the double speak, and the Orwellian wonderland we now find ourselves in. So sit back and relax as I take you through a real alternative look at the news and so-called alternative media alike. Enjoy.
Kips Clips.
Alrighty YouTube, another one of Kips Clips, and welcome to Not the Infowars Nightly News, the original alternative look at the alternative media. Skeptical about the skeptics, and watch the motherfucking Watchmen because somebody's got to do it. So hold on, let me just do a refresh. So welcome, so Pepsi Max IGAN special. Going to go over some old ground that I've got. Looks like I've got hundreds of notes, but it's not so much notes as just timestamps to paint a picture. Cut through the long amount of drivel. That's me saying that, the guy that can talk. And draw the timeline of this big wise man saying it's a pyramid scheme and then getting called out for being a agent or whatever, and then saying, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Hold on a sec, there's like good 9 months between you sort of saying you knew it was a pyramid scheme and calling it out. So let's document that. So going to Pepsi Max IGAN later on. So thanks to everybody that has joined from the get-go. I'll bounce into the chat in 1 wee second. If you do appreciate Not the Infowars Nightly News, as I said, the original alternative look at the alternative media, skeptical about the skeptics, and watch the motherfucking Watchmen. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical about the so-called skeptics, and when the so-called skeptics say don't be skeptical about us, that's infighting, that's cult of personality thinking. So in the evening, feel free to stick a wee thumbs up, it is much appreciated. If you want to support anything I do, the live shows, the on the street stuff, I'll be doing more on Friday when I get more data. I'll be back on the street doing live stuff. Some point in the coming weeks, hopefully I'll do something live on the street with Anthony from Scottish Liberty Podcast. If he's still up for it. Do a wee bit of that. So if you want to support any stuff, feel free to use the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. Check out Daisy's channel. Down below for the music for the show, the community page if you just want to go and participate in that, the 2 YouTube channels, make sure you click the bell, get the alerts, and then you'll get all the live shows as well as and when they happen, and you can interact. It's pretty cool that way when I'm out on the street doing that stuff. So if you do get any value, consider using the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below, it's much appreciated. And indeed, blazing in the evening, Casanova. Shell Owens, how you doing, Shell? Daniel, Lady Aussie Scotch, how you doing, lady? Roberto Carlos, how you doing, my man? James A. Boy, committed escaper in the evening, guys and girls. Becky, how you doing? Blazing, Paula B, James A. Boy, Lady, Becky, Blazing. Helicopter Pad, how he's all doing? Gareth in the evening, Gareth. So in the evening, guys and girls, thanks one and all. There's Peter as well, how you doing, Peter? Thanks for joining, and remember you can always stick a wee thumbs up, It's much appreciated. I find my mouse loose about this house. It's annoying when you lose it. You can always go down and learn how to use a mouse better than me, and share it with your friends, family and foes, because help the show grow, because nobody else is going to do it. You get put on the new YouTube naughty step because you might say fuck, cunt and bugger a wee bit too much. They don't cross promote your stuff, or you don't even so it's you're flying solo in so many ways. You could be a sheep and buckle, but no thanks. So let's have a wee look. There's Paul as well in the chat, and there's Devon Shovel. How you doing, Jamesy boy? Paul, Becky, in the evening, one and all. Thanks for joining. So let me show you what's on the show tonight. I'm going to do this because it's easier. Can't remember what that is. Oh, that's the Crazy Canucks video. I've not even had the time to get around to watch it yet, so maybe watch that at the end. Not so much a wee sort of a comedy thing, but again, memes are memes are magic, man. They're very powerful. This one should still be loading in. Memes are very powerful, and I like to share some of the cool ones that I come across. Shit, hold on. I'm gonna save that image. Right, I'm getting confused now. See if I can zoom in a wee bit easier. Right, now you could go off in a lot of tangents and say both groups could be set up and controlled by intelligence-led agencies for the same purpose, to control different demographics. Control the disillusioned white man, control the disillusioned brown man. For lack of a more simpler way of explaining it. Otherwise I'd be here all night. So let's see if this makes a good point. Britain first, and you could put Tommy Ballbag and all his peeps and all that kind of alt-right, populist, nationalist movement. That's the nationalist movement that's popping up globally. The global national movement. Make sense? Now then. Target specific groups of people. Muslims. Target specific group of people. Westerners. Again, I'm not. I would like to question the setup and the propagation of both these groups and political retarded ways of thinking. If you want to even call it that. But for this purpose, let's look at the meme. Uses social media to spread its message and to convince people to join. Uses social media to spread its message and convince people to join. Remember as well, that Woodford guy made a good point, and it's something that's a good reference point to look at. I know it's just a Wikipedia page, but hopefully that could be a springboard for people going and exploring what happened in and around this time, and go and look at different versions and stuff, and come and have a think for yourself what really happened. But the result of what could be maybe speculated to be rumours led to the peasants arming themselves against the aristocracy, and then that led to what lots of people argue was a controlled revolution by one group to overthrow the aristocracy so then they could replace it. And not that I agree with aristocracy or kings or queens or monarchy. this was the setup of corporate fascist structure, where the head of the beast, so to say, is unaccountable because it's a corpse. This was the rise of the zombie. I don't know how to say it, but previously in a kingdom, if you had a king or a queen at the head of the pyramid, or look at Illuminati. Now, you could argue where they claimed their authority from. They say they claimed their authority from Pope in Christendom, and the Pope from God, right? That's the way the pyramid worked back then. And then an entity came along and created these new entities where there was no head of the snake. The head of the snake was this. So, like, if you take a pyramid, right, where you had the bear with me here. You had the head of the snake here, call it the king or the queen. They fuck up, you go and kick their balls. For lack of a more lesser way of simplifying it, or even a more drastic way, the king or queen fucks up, off with their head, right? I could even go back to the Celtic kings turning up in bogs and stuff, right? As above, so, and I don't know if this makes sense. As above, so below, but a lot of things are inverted. It's about inverting things and then respelling them, naming them, so that people think they're different, inverting them. So when you had monarchy at the top, and then when you look where this came from, this was elements from the City of London, merchants, money. City of London, the first corpse, it spreads its corpse armies, mercenary armies just led by corporations. Like, I think there's no accountability, none. Same way that now modern day governments function, there's no accountability. So they managed to invert a system that was not perfect. I'm not saying it was fucked up. You had people getting... I could deal with a pyramidic system with somebody in the top if they were accountable and there was no blood rights. Somehow, some way, through a democratic vote, not democracy, a democratic vote, people could elect a head, a leader, head of tribe, man, woman, transsexual, chimera, who knows, but was accountable and off with their head if is the ultimate accountability by the people. People get my point there, but they've inverted it in the sense that the head of the snake is multifaceted. It's multinational corporations all hiding underneath the law, which... Right. The law protects the corporations and the corporations fund the law. It's a self-serving entity. And then go and look at arguably the heads of these places, i.e. the bar in the City of London. And is it coincidence that these two, the home, the birthplace, historically, of these two places are almost geographically in the same pinpoint place? I'll tell you there's nothing in it, but I think there's something in it. Anyway, so the Great Fear, talking about the getting the poor people riled up with pitchforks to go and kill a certain denomination that the people who have set this up deem fit. And my argument is, yeah, they're telling you to go after bad people, but they're sitting there with a worse, more controlling corporate, more zombie-like system to put in place. So sometimes it's good to be sceptical about 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, because that's a good way of explaining where a lot of the way these tricks are played on the populace. And French Revolution 2.0. Said it for ages, man. So in the evening, Cookie, Jamesy Boy, Paul, anybody else. So, oh shit, I was going to go through who I was going to go into there. And I got sidetracked. But, rightly so, I got sidetracked. Right, so let's have a look. As you can see, asks its members to donate money to its cause, but shows no accountability for where the money goes. Claims to be British, but doesn't truly represent people, the British people as a whole. The list goes on, invading towns and cities across the country, etc. So you can see the list is identical. And it makes a very good point, and then my scepticism and my journey has led me to question who sets these two groups up, and the way that they're propagated so well in the media. All publicity is good publicity. Makes me believe that these could be controlled elements, and likely so. Part of what is some is branded the information war. Anyway, let's try and show you what's on tonight, if I can focus for 2 seconds. Right, so I'm going to show you a UFO. Then Pepsi Max, got a lot of stuff on him. I don't know when to dive just right into this guy. Thomas Shilligan. I've got this. Tommy Tipbag. Jufro watching, Swedish meme. Tim Fool. Russell the Brand. Oh man, these are Jungle Nut Bar. We're New World Order, Donald Trump. Kev Faker. You wanna be a spaceman and live in the sky? It's alright, you and me, right? Anyway, so that's what's going to be on the show tonight. First port of call is... oh, hold on, this goes right in with... I just realised here. Can touch on Kev Faker early days. Sorry about the anal audio leakage.
Okay, YouTube, how y'all doing? It's Kev. I'm back again. You can catch me tonight on the Kev Baker Show. I'll be hooking up again, myself and Johnny Whistles, with Mr. Anthony Patch.
No!
Tonight we're getting...
audio fucking anal leakage in my ears. So dinosaurs, space aliens. It's amazing how you can see, and lots of people have experienced this, how people can be lured into a certain direction through the applied psychology that's clearly in this controlled industry. So they fish around for, and they try to suck, let's say at best they try to suck genuine people in, and ultimately it just becomes a sort of a under the table, never really spoke about financial lure. I mean, a couple of weeks I had a Luke Radowski clip. I didn't play it, I don't think, live, but he was speaking to somebody and he was like, well, I stopped swearing to make it acceptable for kids because people were complaining about children watching and all that. I was like, bullshit, man. It was because of fucking the advertising friendly shite, and you wanted to test the water and see if it was all about that. Idiot. You can, I mean, this is the stuff you can see through. Look, there was a signal received from my arse and nothing's ruled out. It's all ambiguous, subjective, unconfirmed claims that see probably in 2 weeks, if not 2 months, if not 2 years. this will be irrelevant shite. Like, no offence or anything, man, right? And I mean, each to their own. Because people do, in fact, I need to be honest, I don't like to fucking explore this shite anymore, man. It's like one UFO shit, you've seen 2 UFOs. I've got a real, you've seen all UFO shit. Sorry, man. It's just my honest opinion. I'd be lying if I said that, oh, and like, you know that this is a persona that, like, Kev doesn't even believe half this shite. Or, well, he never used to. And as far as I spoke to, I need to see where Big Martin is. I've not spoken to him in ages. Dinosaur-like fucking creature. This was just out tonight. Oh wow, there's video footage. Is this for his fucking
house now? That's a whole nother story. But on this occasion, Loch Ness. Now, just at the weekend, I was away celebrating my birthday.
Yes, he's actually got a real dinosaur on his fucking. Oh, beautiful. Right, let's see the real life dinosaur. Right, wow. Right, put your fucking. Let's like theoretically, like jokingly, let's make a book here. I've not got money to bet, but 10 to 1 that I could, like, you might be able to sort of say this is bullshit. He's found a dinosaur. I cannot wait.
And I went back home, and that took me to the shores of Loch Ness. Now I'll just play this here, little bit of footage of my time there. And my last time at Loch Ness, not only did I go monster hunting, I also went to Alistair Crowley's house. Now, that's a whole nother story, but on this occasion, going up to Loch End on the northern
That's when he went and threw a stone, I think. No, was it?
Tip of Loch Ness. As you can see from the waves, I mean, it's really hard to see anything at all up there. Anything indistinguishable. I mean, you could spend all day, all week looking at that. And you might...
Where's the dinosaur?
See nothing. You might see 100 things that look like the
dinosaur
monster, but whether it is or not, that's another question. But then today, I came across a story. Get
a story? I thought you'd...
a load of this.
Oh, right.
Residents in Stirlingshire Village react to sighting of a mystery creature in a field. Now, I'm telling you,
looks like a fucking bit of wood to me. It looks like a bit of fucking wood. It looks like some residents have went, you know that tree stump? That's a very weird looking tree stump. It actually looks like a bit like a dinosaur if you look at it from this angle. I bet you if we phoned the Daily Record and told them about that, they would... in Boom Shakalaka. I don't know, sorry.
Opinion, this looks like the Loch Ness Monster walking on its back legs.
Looks like a fucking tree stump, you fucking spaz. What's this? Is this like just a grove coming out the side of its arse? Or does this look like a tree stump?
Now let's get into it, because there could be another couple of things here. It says those living in Killearn have...
Yes, bringing you things in mainstream media don't. Daily Record.
Been discussing the odd sight, which was captured by local man Jimmy Wright while out walking his son's dog. If I was Jimmy Wright, I'd have been...
Is it just me that thinks that just looks clearly like a tree stump? Or am I fucking crazy?
Running a million miles away. Now, people in West Stirlingshire village of Killearn could be giving Loch Ness a run for its money. When you look at that picture, no wonder they're saying that. Main Street resident Jimmy Wright, 66, snapped his odd sight while walking his son's dog on Crow Hill, known locally as the Cowfield. Now, these days, such things cause ripples on social media. Jimmy told the Observer, I put it on Facebook, but I was taken aback at just how much response it received. It definitely has people. People have already likened it to part tortoise, part stoat.
He took a picture, put it on Facebook, said it was a dinosaur.
Towards it, Jimmy said.
The paper phoned him, and he said, aye, definitely a dinosaur, so it was.
In Glasgow in 2006. He said, I was struck by how prolific it was and took a picture. I thought it looked like a dinosaur. I've been up that way before, but the sight was definitely unexpected. I put it on the Killearn for All Facebook page, and the comments began. One resident, Mary Young, suggested we try to get someone to name it, so I agreed to donate £100 to charity of choice of the person who comes up with the name and the most likes. My cousin in Canada, who happens to be an ophthalmic optician, even commented 3 times. There have been lots of suggestions, and Nessie Dorma seems to be ahead at the moment, but more are coming in. At the end of the day,
I'm sorry, man, is it just me that looks like a fucking tree stump, man? Right. Wow, see them in the... Here's the banks of Loch Ness. Here's a picture of a tree stump that some people on Facebook said looks like a creature. Ooh. Anyway, let me see. I found a UFO. 124. Let me show everybody my UFO. And it's real. This is a live stream I done from my phone. No volume. Oh, because of the sound, because of the speed. See? Oh. There's a definite UFO or a sunspot indicating that the sun's going to explode. Let's see. Oh, there it's hovering. You can see it. Is it hovering, or does it just look like it's on a fixed spot? Almost as if like it's almost right in the centre of the sun, where it would be the brightest in a lens, spherical lens. Maybe. So, like, there's a genuine video, not manipulated, that I've put up, filmed live. It was broadcast live, actually. I'm pretty sure that stuff was broadcast live. Or did I film it on my phone? I can't remember. Actually, don't quote me on that, because I was having problems that day. I think it was... Oh, I don't think it was broadcast live, actually. It was just filmed. Shit. Get mixed up. But anywho... just... I'm still waiting to see my own UFO, and I've been videoing a lot of time. Still waiting to meet these UFOs. Still waiting to meet them. Right, let's do Tommy Tipbag.
Hey dude, I just watched your...
Buy his book.
I thought you gave some. You done it. Just wanted to show George as usual.
Right, man. This is some. This is brown shirt tactics. Brown shirt tactics. What he's trying to do is shut down in the new media of the interwebs. He's trying to shut down dissent with the threat of him and fucking his pal Igor. Big fucking Igor turning up. TC's big pal Igor. At your door and stuff. Trying to bait you. Right, either make you look foolish, bait you into doing something stupid, just stand there, him with a camera on him in front of you, with big fucking Igor off cam standing in the background, slobbering on the ground like a big fucking, a real life troll. Or is that a goblin? Fuck knows. Igor. Fucking Frankenstein. Although it does make me want to have some chocolate eclairs.
Morning.
Now, psychological effect of that, right? Let's say, for example, you've been bad-mouthing Tommy Robinson online. and you're watching this and you're subbed to his channel, and this was at 4 AM, and I don't know what time it was put up. I wish they put timestamps up when it was published and shit. You could probably find it somehow. But you could watch that and then go, fuck's sake, that cunt could be at my door. And he sees it, well, I don't know. So, what I would say is, the guy is as dumb as he looks, actually. But he's under orders, and I think he's quite disciplined order-wise. So, he won't engage in any violence. So, what he'll try and do is make you look stupid with like an argument, going, you called me racist, and why did you call me racist? Because all I do is point out Islam, chapter 4, thingy-boo, did you hear about Islam? And when the book, they say, what is Islam's book again? The Quran. Did you read Quran verse 2 when they say fucking stick it, you know what I mean? And then you should say to him, well, right, okay. Let's say for 1 second, this is, so what you need to do is arm yourself to debate the wee fucking idiot. Detach yourself from the emotion and the absolute want just to fucking ninja jab him right in the fucking throat. You know what I mean? So he can't breathe, that's him out the game. And then you just run away for big fucking Igor, because Igor smash! Like, if you go and look at the video of Tommy Robinson when the Muslims confronted him and like he was walking backwards and he fell, and you had those fucking brown cunts like that, right? Big Igor was standing there, man, and you could tell he was like a trained ninja. Not trained ninja, just very. I don't know what he's trained in, but you can tell he's trained. Some sort of street martial art. You know what I mean? It's basically what's really effective. It's basically trained in how the fuck to break your neck. Or he's saying, no, it's not Kung Fu. It's the Scottish version. It's called, fuck you! No, but I don't know what he's trained in, but you can tell he's trained, because as soon as fucking Tommy Tipbag was like that, and these guys are trained in like media fighting and all that, because you can see the big fucking guys just like that. With his ninja fucking stance. Anyway, sorry, let's get back to Tony Tipbag, and then we can get into Max, as promised.
Can you zoom in when you do this? Yeah, you can. How do I do that?
See? There you go! Shit, man.
Can I put a shout out to me, mate? Go on.
That's kind of like, that reminds me of the music you get in the gay clubs in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yes, Ches. What in name? You can Ches has watched it. Huh? Ches is out. Ches need what in name? Say hiya. He got a donut. I thought so just sitting there like a fat copper. Waiting outside the house for them to get up. Say hiya.
I mean, I don't know, man, that's a bit creepy. I mean, like, you know where these people stay and all that? I don't know. Do what the fuck you want, man. But that's psychological warfare. That's to try and make people think twice before fucking calling this guy out for being a prick. Right? So just don't, like, here's an idea. Arm yourself with the fucking ninja-like fucking vocab to shoot this wee ball bag down when he bounces up. Because what his typical line is, I'm not racist. Islam isn't a race. Muhammad said, how he raped 10 women and all the usual shit, sorry, then goes on to quote all the bad shit in the Quran and all that, right? Just go like that. See for 1 second, this is the way I would arm myself, right? I would go, right, well, okay, I don't... racism's such a watered down term now. Let's be a wee bit more accurate. You're a dumb little fucking bigoted fucking moron, useful idiot. You're unaware of the whose tune you're even dancing to, you moron. So okay, you're not racist. You're just a bigot. Go and look up the definition of bigot. And what you're doing is sectarian divide. Calling one fairy story better and worse. One fairy story, or a couple of fairy stories in this guy's case, better over another fairy story. That's my description of it, right? So what that does is it creates a divide amongst all the people who really believe in fairies. There's a lot of people out there that they put their ruby red slippers on and they're just clicking their fucking heels. I believe in fairies! I believe in fairies! And all power to them, they're allowed to do that. But that fucking power that they make as they're clicking their heels together, as they fucking flapping their wings. I believe in fairies! I believe fairies can fly! Right? As they keep convincing themselves fairies are real, or the big fairy is real, and their fairy is better than their fairy, and fairy wars, my fairy would batter your fairy, all that energy and lack of people's confidence to think for oneself, for lack of a better way of saying it. They harness that idiocracy, or that want for people, or in fact, they harness that, and then they make foot soldiers in the war of stupidity out of them, like these morons.
How you doing? If you've been lying, you're sitting there, if you're a journalist.
Good, I'm not a journalist.
And you've been talking shit.
I talk shit. Oh shit, man, he's threatening people to talk shit. Shit.
You're going to have to back that up pretty soon.
Back what up?
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. Troll Watch is just the best banter ever.
Troll Watch is the best banter ever. Ha ha ha.
Because the best thing is, I know the accusations that they make against me, they can't back up. They simply can't back up. They simply say it in order to demonise and slander and smear, with no evidence at all. At all. And none of them, I remember when I've asked previous ones before, like, why have you said that? Oh, I've never thought.
Evidence. Go and look at the things you talk about and you demonise, as I was saying, one fairy story over other fairy stories. It's bigoted and leads to sectarianism and feeds sectarianism. You, as a simpleton that you are, look at his peanut little head with his Hollyoaks haircut and his sleeve tattoos, doesn't understand this. That's why he's a useful fucking idiot. But that is what you're getting used for, you little fucking simpleton.
Just what I'd call you.
I don't think him and Igor are going to fly or invent or go give Elon Musk a run for his money anytime soon.
Racist. I mean, I've got no evidence at all.
He can't be racist. He's got black pals and he's got Sikh pals. All of these ones tend to sort of hate Islam. So again, you're not racist, you moron. You're just stupid, a useful idiot, and a wee bigot.
To back up, no even reason why I said it, other than to put you into a box and to smear you and hope that people don't listen to you because you've been called this big bad word.
people should listen to you. But then why don't then they'll obviously understand that you're only given a narrative. This religion is all religions are equally. All religions are an excuse to act for human beings to carry out atrocities with no accountability. Every single one of them. And my answer to all these organised religions is more religion. We should have more temples. Everybody should have their own temple. Oh, we do. We do have our own temples. But it's a body part. There's no significance there. Move along. Go and worship at the man-made temples. Instead of your own God-given temple.
Now you see that Abel lad. If I thought it was funny, I think some of these, with that lad there, I thought Liam Tuff's video was unbelievable, like hilarious. But I also think that kid is probably having quite a few difficulties enough without me adding to him.
Oh,
what it must be like to not be able to see kids.
Such a good guy.
Yeah, he done that. Years ago.
Kicked a dog in the face. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh, he kicked the dog in the face.
Obviously, what I mean is he's obviously got a lot of issues, hasn't he? He's got his own issues.
And we all.
You can tell by his video he's got issues. Don't need me adding to him. There's nothing to win there. Anyway.
Nothing to win. It's a competition. Same bullcrap circus tricks that Gaza pulled down the doorstep challenge.
That's a killing move for you, innit?
I can deal with the house thing.
I can deal with the torch in the house when they wanted to kill people.
I mean, it's just that he's thrown out threats. And then responding to
the video, and I liked it. You hit the nail on the head on all the points, I thought. Apart from me getting softer, that's never, ever, ever going to happen. I know the problem. The problem's Islam. That's never going to change. Rebel media have not asked me to get softer, and to be honest, I'm not the person that can be told what to do or how to say it or change in that sense. I think I need to.
I would disagree, mate. You're clearly part of a structure which is which I've went over. I say clearly, right? This he would go, where's the evidence? I would point to the mortgage fraud or the fraud that he's been involved in, all that kind of bull crap. The fact he's got a fake name, the fact that he doesn't want people wearing burqas, and then like at the start of his career he wore a fucking ski mask. I mean, the guy's obviously a fucking small down foot soldier who is impressed because he's less fucking Igor looking than the rest of them. He's been a wee guy and he's proven himself in fights over the fucking years or whatnot. And that's my opinion. He owns a sunbed shop in Luton. A lot of people in the UK will know that a lot of these sort of kind of businesses are used by the underworld as money laundering operations. I say for obvious reasons, but it is obvious reasons. It's a cash business and it's very easy to manipulate the books. So through him and his partners you can make cash appear, let's say. Then when you look who he's linked into with the football hooligan stuff, the football firms links with the paramilitary structure here in the UK, which is strongly linked to the gangster element, which again in turn is linked into the security services. You see as part of that. Again, it's like you'll say, where's the proof? It's like who you're hanging about with, mate. It's who you're associated with. This stuff is usable in a court of law. not one association, but an absolute web of association. The I'm a Zionist, going to Israel, the places you turn up, you clearly see his affiliation. And then when you see the 60 or the thousands of people he gets out in the street and what they're chanting, it's clear who he's representing.
Let's get change on the issue. So, just want to reply to you.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country.
Right. So now, done Tommy Titbag, let's bounce into something a lot more meaningful. So what do I want to do here? Tommy Titbag, open that, want to go to Pepsi Max. This is some of the old stuff.
We're sort of like nobody's paying us, and we're doing it for all of us. So
this was Max popping up on Camelot, his own show, in and around where, not that people hadn't spoke about the 5G thing, but that this seems to be, as far as I can tell, ground zero of a new launch of like F.E.A.R, false evidence appearing real. Not that what he's saying is not true, but the amount of fear that he's projecting onto it is distractingly disproportionate. And if you go and look into the technology, and I don't ever claim to be a fucking expert in this stuff, and I don't think Max claims to be an expert in this stuff either, but go and look into the technology. The claims that he's making is, it could be used for this, it could, it's the same way of saying, like, giving police officers guns, that it could be used for X, Y and Z. There's a real genuine argument to be had there, but hyping the fear into we're all going to get fucking microwaved and stuff. Whereas, I don't know about yous guys. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my fucking phone, it's down there, charging. But, the Skynet, let's use that. That's commonly thrown around and stuff, but getting ever more an appropriate word to describe this. But Skynet keeps expanding. It's already in place. I mean, like, how many years ago was it the cell towers? Fucking American. The mobile phone towers were getting put up. Now, there was people going, look, they're doing damage and stuff. And who knows what they're doing? Time will tell. We literally are rab rats. Right? But yet again, what happened with all this argument about those towers going up at the time that they did? The first ones that went up, it must have been about 10-15 years ago now, eh? Fuck knows. Aye, 10-15 years ago, easy. What happened with that argument? What happened? Right, because you couldn't, you need to, like, if you want to change this shit and have any genuine effect, and these arguments have any merit, you have to change the system. Because the system serves the corporations. The corporations want this because it's money, tracking, bagging, tagging, data. Boom shakalaka, they've got more of the blueprint of life. All their algorithms. Through all this stuff. So, this has already happened. And I'm going to go deeply into Max's stuff in a wee second. I've got, honestly, show you the magic of Max. So this is the 5G meme getting propagated. So that was just stuff from last week. Let me see if I can stop any audio leakage on this stuff. But definitely a few things worth going touching base with.
Broadcasting the information the main.
You know how stuff just doesn't make sense. What is it? The Full Circle project? The Circle. Anyway, just found that mildly amusing. And again, this is like sort of a no offence to any of these channels. They're discussing a topic, increasing people's knowledge. I'm sort of trying to stand back and look at the larger collage, the larger picture, the patterns, as I commonly refer to it as, and what the patterns that I'm seeing is Max being ground zero with this 5G thing, almost as if to cancer causing things. Well, like last fucking 10 years it was the handsets that were cancer causing. Are they? Aren't they? Did you stop using your fucking handset? Right, let's get everybody moaned about 5G. Is it ain't going to change? Because none of this energy that's getting harvested gets pointed at the people at the top, or the mechanisms that are available to take our consent away. And this is what I'm going to prove with Max tonight, hopefully. That was just talking about the 5G meme getting propagated. Pyramid scheme. The people's voice. Pyramid scheme. We'll go into that later on. Honestly, I've got some real good shit on all this. Can kill that. First, we'll go into that. But before that, I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Then I'm going to quickly take a toilet break and play a wee bit of music before I go into the main meat of the pudding, Max IGAN. So, Rogue, stay in the evening, my man. I'll say hi to everybody in the chat, so if you're just, I'm going to go into in a wee second, so stick your name in and I'll make sure I give you a shout out. If you appreciate not the Infowars Nightly News, the original alternative look at the alternative media, sceptical about the skeptics, and watch the motherfucking watchmen, somebody's got to do it, feel free to stick a wee thumbs up, it's much appreciated. Share it with your friends, family and foes, help the show grow because nobody else is going to do it. I rely on you guys. Feel free to use the Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. If you get any value from the show, consider using the links and show your support. It's much appreciated in these days. And Daisy's channel for the music, all the other social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube's down below. Make sure you subscribe, bell for all the live on the street stuff. I'll be doing more on Friday. I might be going to Dumbarton Castle tomorrow, if the weather's okay. It's weather dependent, but I can't live stream till Friday till I get more data. So I'll just film it. But hopefully I'll get there. But the weather's up and down like a yo-yo, surprisingly. So check out all the links below, sub and all the community page and whatnot as well. Lady Aussie Scotch, Coco Stewart, Paula B, Paul, Tazzy, Ginger Ninja, Chinny, how yous all doing in the evening, guys and girls? Thanks for joining everybody. Becky, Tazzy, Crazy Cass, Cookie, how you doing, my man? Vladimir in the evening, Vladimir. Mascara Snake. Is that just my dirty mind? Tazzy, Rogue State, Ginger Ninja, Cookie, the Noisemaker, Crazy, Ryan, how you doing, Ryan? Rogue, Tazzy, how you doing, Taz? I heard you're recently unslaved, but I'm sure we'll catch up soon. Rogue State, Becky, Vladimir. So hopefully I've managed to say hi to everybody. Now, oh my god, what the fuck? In the evening. Oh, I seen Lopsum there, I think. There was a tripping your old dad, John S. Hopefully I've managed to say hi to Lopsum. I did see you, mate. Paula B, maybe we could have a tour of this on Kips Clips. Shit, a tour of what, Paula? write it below and I'll see if I can go and catch it. Blazing, Tazzy, Becky, so hopefully I've managed to say hi to everybody. Maybe one of the guys on the Skypes can catch it and relay that question to me, because I missed that there. But in the meantime, enjoy this beautiful little number, which you will find on Daiz's channel, Ridiculizer, aka Daiz, F.E.A.R porn music and NewsRant. You'll get all these music in there, and you'll get this lovely little number as well. Enjoy. I'll be back in 2 seconds. And on a side note, that big lion you seen at the end, that's the symbol, that's the media group that does the Daily Record. That Kev was using the Daily Record's report of a dinosaur. Dinosaur spotted, man! I was near Loch Ness. Now here's a dinosaur from the Daily Record. Kev looks like a dinosaur. Anyway, I digress. So let's get into this bull crap. And get yourself comfortable, because there is a fair bit. Now, I need to admit, I wasn't aware that I'd be doing a wee bit on max until about 20 minutes in. So the first bit is pretty much play it by ear, so I'll try and get through as much as I can.
Want to look at the truth and look at what the way out of this mess may really be.
Brilliant. Oh, don't. Aye. He wants to look at the truth and the way out of this mess.
Because it's extremely interesting looking at the world today and looking at what we do in this movement even. I mean, this great work that we're involved in.
Great work. This great work. Some people know what I'm talking about with that language.
And just questioning how much difference we're really making out there to the sleeping masses. I mean, how many people are waking up around the place? I really wonder, folks, when I travel.
I don't. Everybody waking up. Oh, but nobody, like, that's right, like this is what I'm saying by these magicians. Right, now, think about what this guy's saying. He's putting into your nut. Now remember, he travels the world. You're just a stupid little fucking peon that gets all your information from the internet and Max Egan, because he's a Granda-like fucking figure and get a very soft voice. And he's telling you that nobody's waking up. Right? That's subjective. In the sense that, yeah, not everybody believes in shape-shifting reptiles. Not everybody believes in flat earth. Not everybody believes in gay rights, straight rights, black rights, white rights, sheep's rights, dog rights, animal rights, the panda rights, the elephant's rights, save the rhino, save the whale, save the prawn. Prawns get their eyes ripped off and make them one particular sex and taste better. I mean, fucking, where does the fucking divide and rule fucking bullshit? Here, idiots, go and fucking argue about some bullshit. Trace it all back. Where do we all just need? We just need freedom. What is freedom? Freedom's being sovereign, not part of a sovereign nation. So even the concept of countries and stuff takes away individual sovereignty, because you need to defer that to a government or some fucking, don't know, stick or post or some fucking shite, I don't know. You'll get a guy in a funny wig from the bar stand explaining it somehow. But anyway.
And all the people I see a certain amount of awareness with people, but I don't see any real wakefulness.
I see the complete opposite. I see everybody agreeing on so much. Nobody trusts politicians. Nobody trusts the banks. Even, I'm going to say more, but maybe less people. But a lot of people will stand up in public. The amount of people that I didn't have to volunteer. When was I doing this? When was it? I'm trying to think of the main guy. Where was I? Oh, I wasn't on the street with my camera, right? And I was just speaking to people in a public scenario. And this guy was like, it's all the banks. And I didn't even volunteer this stuff. And I need to be honest, I sit back and I just go, because if I start, I'll clear the steam room. I've done that a few times. But long story short, everybody's on the same page. We might not all agree JFK was assassinated, green men are real, Bigfoot's fucking amongst us, there was a fucking dinosaur in fucking Stirling. Loch Ness is real. Aliens are coming down. We might not all agree on that bullshit, but we all agree that we're all slaves to the fucking banks and big businesses rule, and they're all above the law, and none of these big businesses and the government, all the parties. I'm not telling you to support one party over the other. All of them, and I'm using the capture all. The vast majority of random people I speak to in my life, and not hanging around selective areas, at train stations, at pubs, on the street, everybody in public places where you get a good spectrum of different fucking people, everybody's on the same page. All you do is need to ask them. Now, you go up and go, what do you, I run a YouTube. What's your YouTube about? Politics? But I don't fucking like politics. Fuck off. No, but I'm anti-politics. Alright, aye, are you? And then, I'm not making this stuff up. And more I'll document this on the street. The genuine, real reaction of people. And you will see, this is a falsehood. Right? Do you know how many people won't actually go, now will go, oh shit. But it's because they've been programmed with all these other Looney Tunes. And I'm not shutting down anybody's... I'm not doing anything. I'm fucking speaking what I believe. What I see happening. For years I've described it as, look what happened in the Enlightenment. Just not even the football teams that were involved. But go and look what happened in Enlightenment, see if there was a genuine conflict. Not on the monetary level, but a genuine conflict on the ideology level. And if you believe there was, then go and look what the battlement of these ideologies was, what teams were set up to counter what groups, and then stick that in your timeline to the Masonic Jacobite conspiracy, and then the centralisation of Masonry, and you'll get a better position, a better idea. Sorry.
You know, the sleeping masses out there, the average man on the street, they still trust the government. They still think the TV is telling them the truth.
No, Max, you're speaking to the wrong people. In fact, Max, you're too busy travelling the world to even speak to real people, you fucking idiot. Who are these people that you're speaking to?
All of these complete fantasies.
And in reality, while he's travelling around all these places, he's hanging around with conspiratards and conspiracy conventions, and he's trying to tell me the genuine people haven't woke up. Aye, maybe if you ask them what all sorts of fucking... Or if you look like you're a fucking hippie, or you don't look like you eat right, or I don't know. Just if you've already like sort of made yourself different.
That they allow to rule their lives. They still think they have to get up and go to work and do all this stuff. They think the economy is important. They look at the stock index and all of this sort of stuff, and they think it actually means something. You know, so there isn't really a big awakening happening out there. There is a certain amount of awareness. There's a lot of people who know there's something terribly wrong, but they just don't know what it is. And even in the
they know something's wrong, but
truth movement, or this independent media, or
the Truth or Industrial Complex. Remember, Richie Allen told you
this push for freedom, or whatever we can call it. There's not really a lot of awakening in that as well. I mean, there's a lot of people who can.
Very good point.
Consider themselves awake. There's a lot of people who are aware.
But if you question or skeptical or question him,
but many of them simply
you're infighting.
Are not awake at all. Well, they don't really display any real signs of being awake anyway. I mean, sure, there's many people who are well informed, but they're not really awake. And there's also, of course, many people who pretend to be well informed. There's a whole swag of so-called truthers out there who never sort of present things in a questioning way or in a way suggesting it may be true. They simply tell you it's true without any evidence. And
remember what he's saying here? He's talking about people, truthers out there using the realms of speculation. Now, break down into break down simply what suggestion is, or the realms of speculation is. It's a form of hypnosis, right? It's propaganda. This is the way I've explained it for years. Propaganda doesn't have to be fake news. It doesn't have to be fake shit. It can just be, like, for example, Rangers propaganda. I'm not a Rangers fan. Wink, wink, not judge. I'm not a Rangers fan. But Celtic stink. Honestly, Celtic really stink. Look, here's a newspaper report. I'm going to cut out the title of the newspaper and not even question who's wrote this and the political leaning of that newspaper. And they also say Celtic, maybe, coulda, woulda, 9 out of 10 cats agree Celtic stink of shite. So that's how the echo chamber works.
Move on to the next issue. I mean, I even saw one so-called truther claim that anybody who wears orange is part of the Illuminati.
Illuminati!
So, this is the sort of stuff that we get, folks, and they just...
Stay tuned, because what I want to do is periodically go through some of Max's stuff, accumulating in a timeline of his bullshit, where he tries to fucking correct himself before he wrecks himself. Very interesting. But even at that, it still goes on for more months. And then it's beautiful. Itchy Allen gives him the definition of pyramid scheme to Ken to Max about Ken. And then, is anybody ever going to give this definition of this to Itchy Allen regarding the people's voice?
Say these sorts of things in stride and they rattle them off in mid-sentence and just expect you to take it for granted that what they said was the absolute truth, which is a very strange way to do things. But I don't see too much wakefulness. I see a lot of people espousing their ideas like they actually know what's going on, acting like a figure of authority.
Like Max? I slipped up and tripped up and landed on your dick and took all your money, part of this pyramid scheme, and it took me months to talk about it.
On just about every issue you can think of. I see a lot of other...
Now I eat 4 meals a day because it's very healthy. That's why I'm a skinny dying bastard. I travel around the world but I only eat 4 meals a day. Get me? That's why I'm a skinny dying bastard. I don't know what drugs these cunts are on, or whether they like to take ayahuasca every fucking 2 weeks or something, man. See, sometimes, man, these psychedelics aren't for a lot of people. See, when you look who these people, like Adam Kokesh, propagating DMT, I'm not saying it's good or bad or ugly or indifferent. That's each individual's own fucking discernment, right? What I'm saying, in hindsight, this getting injected into the consciousness of the fucking truther community, I wonder how many more hundreds of thousands of people worldwide, listen to this one, have took DMT and then went on YouTube or fucking social media or emails or whatever way that they're sucking in all this data and spoke about the experience, and boom shakalaka, there you've had a big mass experiment of people's reaction to a very potent psychedelic. And as I'm saying, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that, I was getting this way of thinking when I seen Ken O'Keefe recently with his new videos. And he looks that way. Remember when you used to see like a fucking fat pop star or soap star disappear for a few months and used to come back? Jerry Halliwell! Remember fucking Ginger Spice? right? And she used to be good, have a good fucking curve on her and shit, man. The fucking good bit of slap and tickle and whatnot. And then she disappeared, and she came back, and she was all tanned, like Ken O'Keefe. Ken O'Keefe was secretly Jerry Halliwell. No, but Jerry Halliwell came back, and she was like, right, and it's not like people like that who are naturally like that look unhealthy, that's not my point. But people who go for looking, as I see it, fucking a healthy, fucking just a body shape, and then they go, and that's Ken O'Keefe. And I've never monitored, I've not watched Max Egan's ass that much. I've not got a documented timeline of Max Egan's ass. But as I'll go in, as I break down later on, if I can ever get to it, sorry, but it'll be worth it. He only eats 4 meals a day. Right, so...
Other people standing up to say, I will be the leader to lead us to safety, but they have no real plan of how to do this. Or
right, regurgitates a lot of stuff, right? Now, there'll be a lot of people out there, for a lot of different reasons, who I believe now this is a form of maybe deliberately, accidentally, who knows. Monitoring it is just, monitoring it, you're like, right. But anyway, I think it's a form of gaslighting, in the sense, when gaslighting's one possibility, propagated by Maxi Boys, his handlers and whatnot, man. He's, anyway, handlers, or him himself, who knows, he's a magician. Or it can be delusions of grandeur, where subconsciously, when people listen to a lot of this media, phrases, concepts, where people are at, naturally flow amongst the whole community as everybody's inter-listening to each other. And then somehow the human consciousness, the human brain, through processing that, maybe ego, as I was talking about, ego isn't neither good or bad, it's a natural instinct, and ego's out there. Ego is a natural instinct to want to, for this is the simplification of it, but when you think about it, it's to want to compete, it's to want to appear bigger, it's to want to appear cooler, which cooler is a way of small people of saying bigger, but it's all in that psychology of I don't know, oh fuck, you could all Freud say it's all about fucking attracting and mates, not. Okay, but nowadays fucking kids are grown up like jellyfish. Fuck me, no even fucking wanting to fucking... Wow, man, it's going to be... Oh. Anyway, let's not talk about that. So, I'm going to go where I've actually started making some timestamps, and then I won't start wasting all your time, because these are the points I want to make, or when I started making this shit. So, 22. Oh, this is actually... right, hold on. Right, so this is my point. This is one of my points. This is beautiful. So, as you hear there for 22 minutes, lovely, soft, lovely fucking voice. Perfect, like, Daiz will appreciate this, the audio, man. Perfectly produced and whatnot. For 20 odd minutes, getting you all nice and suggestible, and then listen to this shit, right? And call me skeptical again, man. Maybe this is just when you speak so much you say shit like this, but I don't know
what we're doing. You know, our belief in...
Hold on. I'll do this fairly.
Authority come from. You know, and a lot of it is...
I want to do... Right, now... Try to remember, was it last week when I started with a clip of... This is what I'm saying. Gaslighting is a possibility. Delusions of grandeur. When, like, or just this sort of a... Delusions of grandeur could be linked into sort of a... That's a psychological result of being part, no matter how small, of this larger media, medium. Maybe I was right. Medium. Oh! But in a sense, like, again, it makes you sit here and question, because this is a lot of shit that like, I've brought up in the shows and talked about and whatnot. And in my head, I wouldn't say categorical. I never. This is one good thing about having that inner dialogue. I never put all my eggs in one basket, in the sense that I'm never going, definitely, wow. I try and genuinely consider it fucking objectively. I try to my hardest, and over time I will. Over time, you look back and go, right, oh, do you know what? I've not checked. Oh, he removed my comments, the bastard. He did, he's removed my comments. My comments would be up the top if they were mines. Cunt bag. He's went in and removed my comments, because one of them got some of them got published, because I published them in both my channels. We'll do that near the end.
Authority come from?
Where does authority come from? So, like, now, pretty much exactly what I was doing when I was playing that call to the bar of Ireland. Ireland, you win a while, it's a dirty teen a turd. And then I was shown that picture that Gary had shared earlier on, just with the concept of authority. Now, you can see, like, so I can perceive that. Like, oh my god, look, he's watched my shit, and now he's just stealing it for himself. Or is it just like a genuine fucking question that a lot of people, and I'm not sticking up for, because he comes to weird conclusions that I'm going to pull apart here, which is the magic of Max IGAN. And then I'll go in and show you the track record back in the day in his Ken O'Keefe fraud, and the holes in that story, which is almost a year, but long may we never forget. Pulled it apart back then, I'm going to do it again here. So this is, but I want to talk about, it could even be applied psychology, gaslight people talking about this stuff. Or it can just be sort of again, that human condition. I wouldn't even say so much ego. Just like that, because it's not so much ego as to feel that every conclusion you come to yourself honestly. You feel like you're the only one that's ever came to that conclusion. Does that make sense? Anyway. Maybe not.
Yeah, and a lot of it is through occult mechanisms, folks. A lot of it is because of the way we are indoctrinated into occult teachings without really knowing what we're doing.
Where's authority? Where does it come from? Now, you seen the road that I took it the other week when I approached what is authority? And then I played the bar, unable to answer what is authority, all that bullcrap, and gave you some sort of a concepts. Authority is nothing more than sanctioned violence by somebody who don't have authority. They point to the magic man in the sky back in the day. They no longer do that. It's the authority is just non-existent. It's the bar. The bar is a representation of a fucking thing that used to exist in a fucking court, a literal bar. Anyway. So where does he go into? Now think of what again, 22 minutes of making you nice and soft, nice and suggestible. Then he says, authority, great question. What is it? Where does it come from? Oh, it's a cult. Oh, what? I've always wanted to know what authority is. I better look into the occult. And my argument is the occult is nothing more than, well, the occult, if you go and look into the occults, because there's every brand of the fucking rainbow, just like sexuality in the future, don't have every fucking brand for every lunatic. Just to separate us all down fucking different fucking weirdo fucking ass routes. And then as you go into the occult, you see it's all, every single one of them is the Wizard of Oz effect. And their magic relies on people believing in them. And ultimately at the top it's the fucking fat man behind the fucking curtain who don't believe in any of this shit, that just makes money off all the fucking cunts standing in front of that. But what does Max tell you? Listen to what Max says.
You know, our belief in the written word, our belief in the power of our employees to cast spells that we somehow believe control us, which is essentially what written law is. It's not natural law. It's an occult way of controlling mankind through means that are completely and utterly unnatural. And this happens to us on so many levels. And
this is language that would make you either feel gaslighted or delusions of grandeur. There's other options in there that I'm not aware of, but I will come to.
On so many degrees, people really do not realise to what a degree the occult rules their lives. This is why you're told never.
Booga booga booga! This is where I agree. The occult rules your life. It's not the occult, it's men operating the occult who are like men behind the curtain who are fucking fat fucking men.
To look into the occult, folks. You might
see these cunts in wigs and stuff. That's who's doing it.
Actually figure out what's going on, and they certainly don't want you doing that. It's interesting as well, you know, what I was saying on the show last week about the scrying mirrors and the sigils and how we could easily be summoning Lucifer ourselves through it.
Lucifer's not real. Satan's not real. The devil's not real. The Bible's all analogies of old tales fucking passed down for fucking God knows how long. Or God knows. God's knows. You could split hairs and be pedantic about this, but traditionally speaking, Judaism, you could argue, is a bit older than Christianity and Islam. You could argue, but they're all orientate from the principle of a theistic, I think I've pronounced it properly, religion, right? So some people would argue, but I think you could split hairs and show other examples back in the day. But the history that fucking the victors right speaking, and those three religions, and that means that they only worship one God. Now, think of this as a concept, or just sort of I was trying to analyse the shit. Now, it's ever since the birth of monotheistic thinking religions and the split of this from the birthplace and within the Hebrews in the Old Testament, and then every branch that's branched off since then. It's the concept of having one God at the tip of the pyramid has led arguably nothing more to conflict and war, and people arguing about whose nipple's bigger, whose Madonna nipple is bigger, whose tip of the pyramid is bigger. And again, that's the magic, getting people to believe in their fucking fiction. Right? You shouldn't believe in anything that you can't confirm for yourself, and this believes fictional characters who lay down rules and laws and retarded regulations to you as well, man. Come on to fuck.
Yeah, scrying mirrors, our computers. It's interesting the terminology they use, isn't it? You know, every time you turn on your computer, every time you bite from the apple, so to speak, you surf the web and you click on the screen with your cursor and you type spells into Google. Then you sit there and get Googled by this display of the past or the present or the future or anything you want to find. It's very interesting, though, the terminology with the apple and the cursor and the spell and the web. And of course you do all this with a mouse. A timid little thing, a mouse, isn't it? Never fights back. Just a timid little mouse trying to discover what it means to be human. and that everything about this system is designed to take that away from it.
Right, 5G fear from there to there.
And even when we look for a way out of the system, we look for it externally. We look for the secret code or the secret book or the secret key or the secret doctrine or the secret plan, the secret blueprint that's going to lead us to freedom.
That sounds great. I really agree with all this.
But we always look externally.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look for what's in our hearts, what exists inside us.
Oh, in our hearts?
I mean, many people do to a certain degree, but even the people that look within their hearts and find this stuff within them and find this spark of understanding that they have, they still go out and they read books about self-improvement and they use all the tech that they're given around them. They don't see how easy it could really be to change this world if we were simply to apply ourselves to ourselves.
Right, hold on. I'm going to apply myself to myself right now. Right, sorry man, that's a bit dirty and shit man, but fucking hell, I thought it was funny. What are you exactly saying here, Max? It sounds very enchanting. One has to be with the ground and the grass and the leaves and the bark and the cockroaches, and we're all like, this all sounds great shit, man, and I love fucking talking pish like that around the campfire, fucking when you're sitting chilling and all that. But ultimately, what are you saying here? It sounds very enchanting.
You know, when you look at this concept, folks, the concept that we could change the world by simply stepping into our hearts and refusing to tolerate.
The concept that we can change the world by stepping into our hearts.
Tolerate bad behaviour, refusing to tolerate wrong behaviour. And it makes sense why the world is getting so bad. It makes sense why there is so much war, why there is so much bloodshed, why it is getting more and more aggressive, more and more brutal, more and more.
It's not. There's more wars, but they're corporate. They're wrapped up in lots of other stuff that we could debate in a different day. But generally, the vast majority of people touching base with this broadcast and his life in society is getting that wee bit less violent. Big fucking less violent. If you take it in like 50 years, 100 years slices.
More televised. It's getting more and more in your face, and people are.
It's a false narrative, because you've got fucking cameras focusing on this shit 24/7 doesn't mean. Because there's like 20 million Bigfoot fucking programs doesn't mean that Bigfoot's real. 20 million Bigfoot programs and Kev Baker.
Becoming number and number to it. It's almost like the universe, this reality itself, this construct that we are in, is screaming out to us to step into our hearts.
I'll go back to sort of a forget who the football teams are that were involved in the Enlightenment. Just look at what happened in some of the principles. What I mean in the sense that there was people that apparently on the surface it looked like they were fighting against the monopoly of information from the church, and through this process brought a lot of technologies. They claimed they invented it. I don't believe that. I think they were just fucking rediscovering a lot of shit. But anyway, they actually brought it out and brought it to the world. Some of these technologies. So during the Reformation and whatnot, the group, the Jesuits, were set up, and the church kind of ruled by superstition and fear. The Catholic Church back in the day, and the Age of Enlightenment arguably was to sort of rule by reason and science and reason, and science being the technical term of reproducible experiments. So computer models are not fucking science. Predictions are not science. A prediction is a prediction is a motherfucking prediction. It's not science. We're getting all mixed up and bamboozled by magicians spelling their shit.
It's just going to put this blood
Look, there's Nessie!
and this gore and this
Oh, by the way, do you actually notice what he uses? He uses the fucking... It's almost... I expect, like, fucking... meditation shit to come on. The visuals he uses.
pedophilia and put it in your face as much as it can until you wake up to yourself and stop it. Because you could stop it. You could stop it happening today.
How do I stop it?
We all could stop
We all can.
it happening today.
Oh, what do we need to do?
All this pedophilia, all of
Oh, you can stop it tomorrow.
this war, all of this destruction and mayhem that is a result of this economic system.
He was talking about internalising and externalising, and now he's telling you that you can solve all the world's problems. You're just not clicking your heels together and clucking like a fucking chicken hard enough. Buck! Anyway.
We could stop it all today. We could stop the whole thing in one day if we stopped complying with it.
Stop complying.
But the only way we're going to do that is if we unite with the people around us, and the only way we're going to do that is if we open up our hearts.
Okay, so his conclusion is we need to stop complying, not consenting. Difference there, you know, how in this voting system, because we need to stop voting, stop letting them manufacture our consent. He does drop that in later, but for me, this is a wordsmith, a magician, playing with spells. We need to stop complying, and we need to sing fucking "Open Up Our Hearts." Now that see, open up your heart. That means anything to anybody that they want them to. So he spent all this time being lovely, saying Hunter's a good shit. Probably everything. You probably couldn't disagree with anything he said up to this point. I could, because I'm a moany bastard, but that's me. But a lot of people would find it hard to disagree with a lot of the stuff he said. Now he bounces in and says this shit when you're all suggestible and you're nodding along. And he's like, open your heart. And everybody's like, oh yes. Hold on, I'm gonna touch my penis.
That's the thing, and I've been saying to people we could change the world in a day for years. And everyone goes, oh gee, how could you do that? What master plan do you have? What's the blueprint? And they don't understand.
Open your heart.
If people simply opened up their hearts.
Hold on. I know another way we can absolutely save the day.
Wind, water, go planet.
We can save the planet. We just need Captain Planet, Max.
The world has to change. It's really that simple. Everyone goes, oh, well, it's not going to happen because no one's going to do that. And what they're saying is that I'm not going to do that until I see other people doing it. That's what everybody says when they say no one's going to do that. You'll never get anyone to do that.
Do what? Open up their hearts? Are you fucking retarded, mate? You've got everybody wound up and told them that we need to do something, and then told them they open up their hearts and stop complying. Now, see consent. Oh, beautiful. I've wrote this down. This is the wordsmith chip of this bastard. This is the magic of Max Egan. 35. Look at, like, hold on. Going to share this. Think about this. Go and listen to this. Think about what I'm saying here. Really consider what I'm saying. If I can remember, I've got it written down. Honestly, I'm fucking short-term memory loss. Right, he said stop complying instead of stop consenting. Right, see if you... What have I wrote? Alright, I've even wrote it down, beautiful. Right, see if you stop complying. If you stop complying, that means you recognise the rules that are there in the first place, and you stop complying, and to stop complying equals you resist, which means you're the resistance. You can play into that connotation a million and one ways. But if you don't consent, if you don't consent, you're not resisting, you're withdrawing, right? So you're not, put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up. You're like, yeah, fuck off, wee man, I'm not playing with you. We're going to take our football over here and play away for you because we don't like your rules. You're a wee bit of a retard and we don't want to really subscribe to that way of thinking. So some people might think I'm splitting hairs here, but think of all the good stuff he's saying, and then this is the trap I believe that you ultimately end up falling down. Shit.
They're saying you'll never get me to do it until I see other people doing it. But, you know, it's got to start somewhere, folks, so why can't it start with you? Why can't it start with all of us, you know?
Just
and if
open
we
your
all
heart.
did it,
Just open
the
your
world
heart.
would change.
Right, come on. Right, look at that. There's 49, 50 people watching. Come on together, folks. Kumbaya, my lord, open my heart. Oh, kumbaya, my lord, open my heart. Can you feel the sunshine and the rainbow? The sunshine and the rainbow. Come on, everybody. Come on, everybody. Remember the big fucking purple dinosaur? Barney? Act like, ooh, remember the Teletubbies? The pre-programming to be dumbed down? That's what we need to do. Thanks, Max. Oh. Shit. It's a heart-based reality. I didn't. He's so right. What's your solution? Open up your heart. So how do we stop tolerating it? This is his plan to take back our power. Go to the supermarkets and unwrap food from his plastic. Wouldn't it be more interesting if people didn't consent to democracy? Took our power back and told the people who think they've got authority over us, saying, no thanks, we're going to go and write our own rules.
Off, and you should leave it on the shop counter and let them deal with it, and I'm sure they'll soon start talking to the companies and they'll start refusing goods that are wrapped in plastic. See, it will happen if we refuse the goods that are wrapped in plastic. Of course, because everything's wrapped in plastic, well, if you do that, you're not going to be able to eat anything. So, well, we can combat that by simply taking the plastic off in the store until they start taking measures to prevent that happening themselves. I don't know, just an idea that came to me then.
Yeah, it's going to unwrap plastic in the supermarkets. Hopefully you can hear Max now, y'all. The Illuminati hacked my computer. Sacked the producer and the editor and all that shit.
But anyway, getting back on topic, it's almost
what is the topic?
It's like this universe is making things so
Yes, look up in the sky. fuck all the shit that's happening. Just look up in the sky and wonder about space aliens and superstitious bullshit.
In your face that we have to wake up to ourselves, folks. And I think things are going to get worse. You're going to see so much more war and so much more bloodshed.
Just go and kill yourself just now. See, this seems to be the thing I hear from him and Tommy Sheridan. They seem to just, like, through all their amazing wee stories that a lot of people resonate with, then they just go woof. Every so often they just turn the fucking fear factor up to 1,000,000. Yes, I think everything's fucking going to shit.
You're going to see so many more children killed on the beach. And
the children killed on the beach. You're going to see kids killed on the beach. I mean, come on. 38 minutes to soften you up. Dripping a few subliminals in, and now he's talking about dead children on the beach. Because of why, Max? Because we didn't open our fucking hearts?
Till people realise that they can stop this happening.
How? We just need to open our hearts.
Themselves. You know, until people stop being numb to it. Until people stop looking away. The universe is just going to put it more and more in your face until you acknowledge that all of this...
Yeah, the universe is going to punish you by putting shit in your face if you refuse to if you refuse not to take plastic off of your shit and leave it in the supermarket.
This is happening with your consent. That's why it's happening.
Oh, consent is happening with our consent. Beautiful. Right? It's happening with our consent. So what would you do then? Would you withdraw your consent? Or how would they get in our consent, Max? Where's the social contract? What the idiots sign in legalese and legally contracts? What do people sign when they vote?
You may think, well, I don't consent to it, but you do, because it's...
How? Yes, beautiful. He's going to explain this to millions of people. Look, well, thousands. There's 8,000 people. 8,000 people heard this. That is beautiful.
It's your leaders. It's our leaders that are doing this, and no one's saying anything about it. People are still using the system. People are still complying with the rules of these criminals who are waging all of these wars all around the world.
So we're consenting because it's our leaders and stuff. Aye, but how are our leaders getting our consent?
And we can withdraw support from them.
How?
Any time we want to, we can withdraw support from them. And the women out there, it's
how?
Time to call your brothers and your husbands home.
How do we... Oh.
Call your sons home. It's time for these men to stop going out there and playing with all these big boy toys. It's time for them to come home and support their families. You need to put your foot down, girls, and call these men home so they stop killing people. You know, all these men are needed in their own communities at home. Everybody is needed in their own communities. They really are. Because it's there that we can make a difference. You know, no one's coming to lead you to safety, folks. No one can do it but yourself. There is no big movement that can come along. There is no hero to lead the charge. And think about it, folks. Anybody attempting to lead the charge against this system, what are they going to do? What's the intention? What do you really think will happen? Like I said, even if we were to pull down every world leader that we've got now and replace them, what do you think the outcome would be? What do you think the world would be healed? You know, if Putin wins the war in Syria and becomes this all-pervasive good guy that everybody thinks he is, do you really think it's going to change anything? You know, Putin is part of the charade. It's all theatre. All of the politics is theatre. All of the countries are theatre. All of these wars are manufactured. There is no reason for anybody to be fighting anybody else. All of it is theatre.
All politics is theatre. And I just remembered earlier on what I wanted to go and get an earlier timestamp for. Just before I had the timestamps, which I've fucking left out. You can go and check it yourself. He was talking about you should be protesting your MPs and politicians about Israel. And then later on he's saying all politics is theatre. But he's told you should stop complying, which equals resist. It's a violent action. And then he talks about you are consenting to this through your leaders, but it doesn't tell you how you're consenting. The mechanism of manufacturing your consent is the con of making the illusion of choice at the ballot box. They don't give a shite who you vote for, as long as you rock up and put an X in their box, legal term, and then people ask, where's the social contract? The social contract, and as Max was saying, the occult fucking shit, is the manufacturing of your consent through that X, which legally speaking is the signature of a fucking idiot. And everybody that votes in the democracy scam, and I know a lot of lovely people, my fucking that do it. A lot of them, you could argue, not idiots. They're not idiots, but they don't, in my opinion, don't even understand the gravity of what they're doing and the power that they're giving away. They don't care who you vote for. And everybody agrees there's no choice at the ballot box. But nobody's out there suggesting a different way. Max is skirting around this. And if he is as wise as he claims to be.
Designed to distract us, to bring this control grid online underneath us. That's what's...
Right, so he's went from consent to all politics is theatre. Now he's back to 5G control grid.
happening. You know, the 5G grid, folks, who is addressing this?
You. And you've propagated it pretty well, as I showed you in the alternative media, through lots of different memes. But anyway, so let's see how Max wants to save the world. Opening your heart and
well, don't complain about the system, and don't think that anybody else can come along and lead you to safety. You can throw money at all the movements that you like, at all the people that you like.
Oh, I'm on board. I'm nodding along. I'm in agreement.
You can rally behind all the leaders that come to lead you.
Reminds me of watching the BBC.
But they're not going to lead you anywhere if you're going to refuse to participate on the ground yourself. And all you have to do is stop using their tech, and you won't need a leader to pretend that he can lead you.
Yeah, stop using the tech. No, I've got an absolute complete polar opposite. And it's not use it more. It's understand what it is. Right? Because what this is doing, this is injecting fear into something, right? It's like the fear that people have injected into guns, into this, into that. And it's predominantly people inject fear into what's the word I'm looking for? Oh shit, man! It's abnominate. No shit, man! I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, people can't demonize objects. It's or tools. It's what they get used for, and it's the same with every single one of them. And when you see somebody ramping up the fear in one particular realm, you're like, it's like off-putting, or it draws attention. But I'm of the opinion and reality things can never be uninvented. So, and I think technology as knowledge should never be monopolised and open to everybody, and that's how you have the freedom of expression, which leads to free ideas, free exchange of ideas. Anyway, I digress.
Due to safety, you'll be able to do it yourself, but it's going to come down to your participation. And it's like that with everybody. You know, there is no other way out, folks.
There is no other way out, folks. You need to put down your phone. Just throw away your mobile phone, and the tooth fairy's going to come down and save us.
You know, the smart system is the New World Order. If people can't see that, well, they're just looking in the wrong direction. But no one can lead you out of this.
Smart system isn't great. Having all this shit interlinked and all this data centralised and put into one place isn't brilliant. My argument would be less centralisation of everything, this included. But where do you have this argument? Amongst ourselves, or after we've took back control? So where are you going to put all your power? Arguing about this shite? 5G, 4G, 6G, what about 8G, what about 9G, what about G-Unit? What about the Goblin, what about the Kev Baker Goblin Man? What about the dinosaurs? What about the aliens? What about Roswell? Remember that? Real aliens came down in a weather balloon? Or was it the other way around? Ant Deck? I can't remember. But let's argue about all that shit instead of how are we fucking enslaved? The banks, through fucking debt, have us by the balls. They're fucking moving towards a digital currency through the disguise of Bitcoin and every other one that's out there. Takes away the ability to have a run on the bank. Something the central bank, a problem to central banking that existed since its existence. Why? Because of fractional reserve banking, which again is another fucking scam. And through democracy scam, which is ruled by minority in almost every fucking form of democracy around the world. When you go and do the sums, and this isn't by accident. Hopefully the audio's all good now, guys and girls. Let me finish this off.
This politically, no one can lead you out of this with a revolution or any type of physical action, any type of pulling down the system or voting people in or voting people out or starting any type of movement. You've got to put down the tech yourself.
Just put down the mobile phone.
And you've got to reclaim your humanity. If you're not prepared to do that,
open your heart and put down your mobile phone and open your heart and stand in a corner singing Kumbaya. And what you'll find is everyone will just change.
Well, no.
Right, think if you're a fucking psyops fucking person and you want to make people useless fucking morons. What kind of bullshit would you feed them?
Else can do it for you. But I think we're getting very close to the end.
Remember that used to be one eye?
Of the show here, folks. And I'm sorry if this week's show was a little bit confrontational for some people, and I'm sure that it may have been, but well, that's just the way it is, folks. If we don't acknowledge the problem to begin with, then we don't have any opportunity to heal.
Cool, I'm glad you're up with that, man. Max, you'll be open up for my discussion. Oh, hold on, where's my... Hold on a second. He's removed my comments. Max. I need to be... I'm being serious here. I left comments. Let's Gary's up. Keeps Gary's up. Gary's a fucking internet whore. Gary's everywhere. Right, I think you can clearly see he is not answered to that. Now let me check out my other account because I left it on both channels.
Our stuff down and just learn to cooperate a little bit. I think that'd make a huge difference, but I really do.
Let me see. Oh, it's been fucking... it's removed. All I did is say, Max, look, I've got the solution here. It's the voting thing. Vote us, not them. With links, not one bad word. Wish I photoshopped it. Or what, by the way, do you know what? I might be able to find it on my face bag, because I'm pretty sure I did do a photograph of it on my face bag. I fucking did. Beautiful. I didn't even realise at the time that I thought he would have been man enough to... Just one wee second to put up on a shite on my face bag. All my stuff, no, everything else is good, just all my stuff. Oh, hold on. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Documenting the truth. I don't like the word truth, but it just rhymed there. Right, let me see. I'll just do this. I get up the old face bag. Here's the picture here with the date as well. 15th of July, only 1,000 views. Here is the solution, Max. Check this out and tell me what you think. Help me spread the solution to them manufacturing our consent. UK general election, 8th of June 2000. Vote us, not them. Join the real election help needed now. And I left one with and without the links, if that makes sense. So one did go through. And as you can clearly see, and I've done it with both my channels. And the ones, both comments without the link went through. But he's removed all of them. Yeah, old prick. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Now, let's go to Ken and Zen. This is Max Egan's
called Ken
spinning of the tail for recovery. I'm getting so hungry.
Cousins, who says he's done the legal work and he's back engineered every legal system in every country, so he knows how it works. So I'm saying to Ken, well, why don't you guys get...
We're going to go and ask the legal system, excuse me, can we not play tax? And this is Max Egan, who's now telling you the 5G is going to get you because he's got such good foresight, but he couldn't see a pyramid scheme. But he did see the pyramid scheme, he just didn't report about it. He just kept going round, travelling round the world, which he admits to, but then backs out on.
Together, because he's got all the goods you need to be able to make this work in every country. But Ken didn't even want to talk to him. Nobody wanted to talk to each other, and we couldn't get hold of him. And this has gone on for months and months, and it's going on, and the team's freaking out, and they're asking me. So I'm sort of thinking, well, what's going on here? So I'm starting to approach Ken, and I'm saying, well, this is getting really dodgy. Things are looking really bad. And a lot of people have recommended on my say-so. So where is this going? What is the mission? Nobody knows what the mission is. You've gathered all this money.
Sorry to fuck yous about, but see, to do it in chronological order, I'm going to go to this.
Mainstream media won't touch. This is the Richie Allen.
With the World Citizen Contract, what was it set up to do? What did you understand it as in terms of what were its aims, Max?
Well, the aim was to set up a legally sound, a lawful social contract that would provide lawful means to prevent people from funding war. You know, essentially a means of withholding taxes if our governments are funding war. Ken wanted to do a fundraiser. The idea was to raise $79,000.
$79,000. This is the money we're talking about. This is what...
You know, a certain amount was to go to the crew to build the website and to promote it and do all the stuff they were doing, and the rest was to go on legals to create this lawful contract that we could use to stand against our governments to prevent us from funding war. That was the basic premise for the whole thing. That was what we were promised in the initial.
A contract is legal, it's never lawful. Again, it's splitting hairs. In fact, it's not fucking splitting hairs, it's very important.
Meeting in Bali.
Right.
Contract law is all legal. So they want to try and get a contract, they don't have to pay tax. Excuse me, sir. You know what I mean? Like,
so I'm not the quickest guy in the world. So to me, that sounds like
you're a dumb fuck, Richie.
Ken was going to try and give people the legal protection to exempt themselves from paying taxes that would be used to blow the smithereens out of people overseas. And he was going to figure out a way so that people could be protected legally if they so chose to sign up to the project and to say, right, I'm tax exempt, I'm not paying taxes anymore. That's about the substance of it, right?
Yeah, well, something like that. I mean, it was like, Ken didn't have any lawful method of doing this, but that's what the money was for, to go and get legal consultation to see if this could be done, to see if there was a way to create a lawful social contract that would prevent us from funding war. And that's what it was about. And the problem from that is that Ken is now saying that there was never a need for a legal contract. So that was the first kind of thing that sort of made me think something was strange. But I mean, it really goes
See, before it goes legal and lawful,
way back. There were red flags all the way through it. I mean,
there were red flags all the way through it.
What I'm doing with this, the stand that I've taken on this, it's not a stand that I've taken lightly. There's been a lot of things that have led me to this point, and I really do need to go through the process.
It was Ken O'Keefe trying to blow the whistle on you that led you to this point. Up until then, you kept your mouth fucking shut, kept a lot of heat off of Ken O'Keefe, and travelled round the world.
For people so they can hear it. I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but it's a kind of a convoluted tale.
Max, you can go through it step by step, and I will not interrupt you. But just let me just ask one or two or three just basic quick questions before you do that. So,
okay.
So Ken ran this Indiegogo campaign. A lot of people made videos supporting it, and it, as you said, it specifically states Ken O'Keefe and his team are currently developing a legal and social strategic initiative that will have profound effects on releasing humanity from its current paradigm. Now, what did Ken want the signees to do? If I wanted to sign up to the contract, Max, what did I need to do as a private person, a private citizen? I needed to contribute some money, did I?
Well, back then he said it was $1.
Back then he said it was $1, right? So they explained the concept, and back then he said it was $1. So anybody with 2 fucking brain cells would say, right, it's a pyramid scheme. Everybody pays $1, they get more people to pay $1, and so on and so forth, right? It's the essence of a pyramid scheme. I'm paraphrasing a wee bit here, but you can go and listen to the full context.
One would pay $1 to sign up to this social contract. The idea was there would be 3 tiers. There would be people who just sign to the contract, pay $1, and remain silent. There'd be people who sign up and put their name on the website so that they say that, yes, here I am, I'm part of the contract. And then there'd be the 3rd tier, who would be people who'd sign up, make their names public, and who take the system on and go for it and do the legal battles. And then Ken wanted to sell these certificates for $1 each, raise $1 million, so that you've got legal funding there to cover the legal costs of the people who decide to stand up against the system. Right. So it will cover their legal costs.
Sounds like a decent idea. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. We'll raise all this money. People will exempt themselves from tax. People will basically take a stand against the system. And when the system comes knocking at their door to say, you owe us tax.
Hello, system. I mean, are these people lunatics? They're wanting the courts to rule in favour of them, not the system, when the courts are the system.
Taxation,
These people are not this fucking stupid or retarded.
To court. Ken would have the funds to cover the legal costs of those people. All sounds very good. Right, I'm glad we've established that.
Yeah, well, that was the plan. But the initial funding was to find out whether this could be done, whether we could set up a legal social contract, a lawful contract that was going to do this. That was the plan. So then we're sitting back. We've done the fundraiser, or the team did the fundraiser, and we sat back and waited. What's going on with the legals? Have you spoken? Are you getting this contract worked out? What's going on? So we were just sitting back and waiting for that for the next little while.
So you were waiting to see, had Ken instructed lawyers or solicitors to go?
Hello, Ken. Have you got those lawyers to tell us if we can stop playing taxis yet? Dirty Senator, I'm Ken O'Keefe, I'm an Irishman. I don't know, Max. I keep giving the lawyer lots of money and they keep saying I'll see what I can do. But they keep coming back and saying, it's not just as easy as saying, I don't want to pay tax anymore.
Go and do this. So you're expecting at this stage Ken to say, right, Mrs. X and Mrs. Y from legal firm in such and such a state or a city, they're now working on this and I've allocated funds to them to do this. So you're expecting that to happen?
Exactly.
Did it happen?
Money was allotted for the website, and then money was allotted for these legals, and everyone's sitting back waiting. Okay, Ken's got the fundraiser. Let's all sit back and wait for the document, And that was the position we were in.
And this, of course, is early this year. The fundraiser ended in February. It raised $113,000.
They raised $113,000. It ended in February of that year. Let's just get the timeline down. February 2016. Because this all fits in. I've got a timeline here. I've got it written all down. So the fundraiser of 113,000 ended at the end of February. And by that point, Max was telling him it was like £100, $1 a certificate. The idea that he was going to play a lawyer to go and try and exempt people on 3 tiers, a clear pyramid scheme. Even 3 tiers of this shit. A clear pyramid scheme. And he was going to, he's waiting for the document from the lawyer to tell us they can exempt themselves from tax. Excuse me, can I stop paying you money?
But more money came in, and you don't know, and the team doesn't know how much more money came in. So that was
more than 113,000.
So Ken had achieved
back in February
the fundraising target, and we've established that it was up to Ken's end to use those funds to pay legal professionals to explore the possibility of this. And this.
Hello, Mr. Lawyer. Can you go and try and explore the possibility that we don't need any lawyers? Yeah, thank you. These people think you're that stupid.
This is where is this where the red flags began? Because this didn't happen.
Well, look, there were certain red flags for me all along the way. Like going right back to the meeting in Bali. Here's where I'd like to really go through this.
Bali, going back to the meeting in Bali. So let's get this down. When did Bali happen?
Little timeline. Back in the meeting in Bali. And I started to question then, I mean, for this world-changing thing that Ken's putting together, why has he gone and got this kind of backwater crew from Australia that nobody knows and he doesn't know? These are all people that I know and half know. Why is he using this team? It's a strange thing. He knows people all around the world. Why has he got this odd crew on board, So, okay, it was interesting, but I'll go with it. And then I showed up in Bali, and Ken was very surprised to see me there. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And there was all sorts of stuff that had happened there. I mean, I'd got him accommodation in Bali, all sorts of things. He never thanked me for that. There's all sorts of really weird red flags.
When did Bali happen, Max? Sorry to interrupt. When did Bali happen? This is after the fundraising. The money has come in. You're waiting for Ken.
No. This is way back in December. This is when it was all
when it was beginning. Okay, fair enough.
Wow, right. Get this, Bali, way back in December when it was all beginning. Listen to him, he's very pacific about these stories.
Back in the very, very beginning, so there's been a crew that have been flown to Bali to organise this. And
very beginning, Bali, he says December, right? The fundraiser finished in February. December, January, February, 3 months of these red flags. 3 fucking months so far by his own mouth.
And in the crew...
Listen to how pacific he is. Right at the beginning... The crew came out to Bali, December. This was way before the fundraiser, the end of the fundraiser.
Samantha.
Right at the beginning, talks about the names of the people. This isn't making shit up. This sounds like recalling memories with regards to the timeline.
Backman, and there's Diana Imato, and these are 2 people.
Important because he backs out in this. He then later goes on to retract this because then it goes on to go, oh shit, it shows that I've just said that I knew he was a fucking scam artist for months and didn't do anything while people piled in more money to him. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you see when you're in the fucking theatre and you do see a bomb, you can shout fucking bomb when there is a real one there.
People who both...
This is how stupid he wants you to think you are.
Do logistics. So I'm thinking, and Ken insisted that Diana come there, and I'm thinking, well, why is Samantha here, and why is Ken insisted Diana's here? Because I mean, Diana's doing stuff, but she said to me a couple of times, I don't know what I'm doing here, Max. I'm not doing what I thought I'd be doing. I mean, I'm doing things, but I don't know why Ken flew me here. I don't know why I was needed. I feel kind of unnecessary, So okay, there's a question mark. I just put that aside, you know. And then a few months down the track, the team starts.
Right, so there was stuff at the very beginning in December, and now he's saying a few months down the track. So because he goes back to completely change all this.
Complaining, saying, look, we're not getting paid. Ken's not paying us for our work. After all the talk of him paying people, he doesn't want volunteers. You know, we're not being paid for our work. What's going on? So they've come to me, and I've gone and questioned Ken. And
all of them, Max. Sorry to interrupt again. And I hope when we'll have all the time we need, by the way. We can do this as long as we need to do it. But I hope you'll forgive me for the occasional brief interruption. Because I just want to establish a few things. Some of the listeners will be like, ask him this, Richie. The team, Max, they came to you collectively. There was no separation amongst the team. It wasn't three of them came to you and two, didn't. They all came to you collectively to say, we were promised money for the logistical work that we've done for Ken, and we have yet to receive it. They came and told you that.
It's part of the pyramid scheme. They were promised monies and it didn't materialise, and they've went to Max. And they've went to Max continuously, and he's kept it under wraps for months.
Together as a collective unit.
Yeah, well, there was one spokesperson, but they said, yeah, we've been meeting, we've discussed it, and none of us are happy. Ken's, what's going on? I mean, this is your friend. I mean, what's going on with this guy, you know?
What did Ken...
Right, now, for the purposes of I'm starving and let's get this finished, let's go to something interesting, 10:55.
Is that
right?
right?
Well, I can understand it as well. But also, I got my timeline a bit messed up there. There was Acapulco. He went to Acapulco after that. See, that's Acapulco is where the second big red flag came up. Because
Acapulco, the second big red flag, it wasn't the beginning of the Bali meeting, at the beginning of all this, like you just said there, quite categorically, with clear memories of that woman coming down, and you even saying to her, why are you here? She doesn't know why she's here. It was really funny and stuff. Right, so this guy is full of shite. There is no consistency in even his own bullshit.
The team was doing all the work, and we're waiting for the social contract. We're waiting for the legal work, and then Acapulco happened, which was 2 months later after Bali. We went to Acapulco in February, and that's when everything really turned pear-shaped.
What was the
right? So from the beginning, so there's December to February. So there's 3 months that. By his own account, although he's changing it a wee bit, but by his own account, there was red flags by his own account popping up. 3 months, people piling in money, and he's going from Bali to Acapulco. Hard life, Max, isn't it? Who was paying for all this? Was it all on the expense of fucking Ken O'Keefe?
Acapulco trip 4, was there a speaking engagement there, Max, or what was going on?
Speaking engagement there, Jeff Berwick's Acapulco
Jeff
conference.
Berwick, okay.
So we went there to Acapulco. And in that conference, I mean, Ken was so evasive for 5 days, he just wasn't available. Okay, he met a young woman, he fell in love. Okay, not a problem. What you do in your private life is your own stuff. But can you give us an hour of your time? An hour of your time. Over 5 days, there were people who flew in from Europe, people who flew in from Australia. There was one girl he flew in for secretarial duties who didn't even see him for 2 days after she arrived. You know, he just made himself unavailable. You know, and I'm thinking this is really odd. And I managed to get him for one moment during that conference. And I said to him, "What's going on with the legal fees and with the World Citizen? What's going on with the contract?" And he said to me that he'd paid $4,000 to a lawyer, and the lawyer had told him didn't look like there was going to be a legal way that we would actually be able to withhold taxes.
This is obviously hugely important. So when you did tie Ken down, what's going on, Ken, with the legal work? Ken says, I've spent $4,000 of the money, and the feedback I'm getting back is it's not going to be possible to do this. What month was Acapulco, Max? Was that January of this year, or was it December or February? When was that exactly?
That was in February.
February of this year. So the money is being raised, right? Okay.
And he said to me, but it doesn't matter if there's no legal way to do it. We get enough people. Their legal system's fiction anyway. You know, he started going through all this stuff that I talk about on the shows, how the legal system's fiction, right? You know, all this stuff. So he's trying to sort of get me with that, and we don't need them anyway, rah rah rah. And I'm saying, well, if the $4,000 is indicated that it's not going to work.
$4,000, so 113 plus more that they don't know about. $4,000 to a lawyer.
what do you intend to do with the rest of the money, and what's the fundraiser for?
So at this stage, Max,
if there's no legal fees,
if there's no
invasive,
legal,
and I didn't basically see him for the rest of the 5 days. Okay.
So he didn't really want to talk about it. So what I'm guessing what you were thinking at the time, Max, is that ordinary men and women like you and me, we're unlikely to sign up to that or to trust that if there isn't any legal protection. Why would I be involved in something like that? Why would I take the risk of sticking my fingers up to the taxman if there isn't legal protection there? You're thinking that. You've put that to Ken, and you're saying at that stage he became evasive and he didn't really want to talk about it.
He's saying this is Acapulco, February. This is 3 months after his initial concerns in Bali. Maybe I'll wait till the end of the world tour and the end of the gravy train till really I'll voice my concerns, Max?
So he didn't say to you, he didn't give you anything concrete in terms of, right, well, this is how we can proceed, or we can use the remaining funds to do X or Y. He just became evasive, right?
Well, yeah, and he became defensive as well. I know we can do it without the legal standing. We can do it with this. We get enough people, rah. We can, the way he does, he gets that real gung-ho, I can do it, we can do it, this is it, this is our moment. He's a salesman, he's great at it, And, my wrath will know no bounds, because a lot of the people who've donated to you have done so on my recommendation, and I do not want to have these people stolen from, basically. And he started saying subversion and all this sort of stuff, and he's saying, I want to release a report exposing the team, and I've got the team saying they want to.
This is when they start throwing shit at each other over fucking God knows what really went on. But this is when they two split, and then the shit flinging, and the fuck, I just started shitting, like throwing enough shite all over it so nobody really knows what happened.
Release a report exposed,
which makes you wonder when you see the damage control and the new narrative that gets tried to get spun after it through Itchy Richie and the rest of them. It's very interesting.
Ken, and I'm saying, well, hang on a minute, I need to find out what's going on here with all this. Wait, everybody back off until I get to free your mind and I talk to Ken and try to get some answers for this.
Everybody back off until I get to free your mind. So he's now saying he's had red flags from from December. He's had flags and warnings through to February. Now, wait till we get to Free Your Mind conference. Wait till the fucking round the world tour is over. So, 5 months. 5 months. Sorry, Max.
Because the team's there, they're ready. They say, we want to publish a website to expose him. And I'm saying, well, hang on. If you go...
Don't expose him. Hang on. Wait till the Free Your Mind conference is over. Wait till I get my hookers and blow.
Go out now and try to expose Ken O'Keefe. He's going to bury you because he's got the following to do it.
Yeah, the truth doesn't stand up.
So, and I won't support you if you're going to go public right now because I need more information.
He won't support you if you go public right now because I need more information. This is on the 15th of April 2016. So it's at 5-6 months after he's seen the first red flags. And now he's telling you to be careful about the 5G network because it's so much worse than 4G. And 5G will kill you before they release 6G.
I go and talk to Ken because he's my friend.
And before we get to the conference, you wrote to Ken and said, "Look, Ken, I'm getting edgy because I've used my good name to recommend the project, and if it turns out to be a scam, it's going to be a disaster." And you mentioned again those people not being paid. Did Ken address any of those issues before?
Nobody's been paid apparently. He's been flying around the world with Ken, doing conferences and stuff, and he's not got 5 months and he still doesn't know that's happening. Again, if this turns out to be a scam, although he's told you that for the very inception that everybody had to pay $1 and the 3-tier thing, it was a pyramid scheme.
he published this subversion report, which, and I will put this to Ken on Monday. I mean, Ken might argue, he's not here now, that he was angry and he was fed up, but it seems like a kind of a bizarre way to tackle questions, you know, the sorts of questions you were asking. Did he attempt to address?
Holy shit. He's going to take me on. You seriously think you can take me on and call subversion for this? Are you serious? And I'm thinking, okay, this is where he's going. So I'm sitting back and I've waited for him to publish this subversion report because I thought I'm just going to come back at this when he publishes this. This is just going to be great. And I've told the team, back down, don't publish anything. And I said, if there's any problem with people...
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, this. I had red flags for 5 months. It was a pyramid scheme. I was worried, so I just travelled around the world from Acapulco to fucking Bali, to wherever this Free Your Mind festival was. Pennsylvania. Not too bad, Max, eh?
Saying, why didn't you come forth sooner? You say it's because Max told you not to, because Max wouldn't support you, because you didn't have the right position to do it, because Ken's very, very clever. And if you're going to do this, you've got to get it right.
So still at this stage, at this conference in April, he's telling people not to come forward.
And I said,
because Max won't support you.
If you get in trouble for backing down, I'm prepared to put myself in the firing line and I'll lead the offence because I can weather that storm and you guys can't. But I can. And if he wants to come for me, it's a whole different ballgame. So I've sat back and I've waited for him to come for me. And he didn't come for me. So I'm thinking, well, what's going on? Why has he even sent me this subversion report? And I'm thinking, and then I've glanced through it a little bit more, and he's accusing me that I'm in love with his girlfriend or something. And he said in this conversation, he said, I'm going to publish this report. The only reason I haven't published it yet is out of respect for your life's work. And I'm like, what? You're going to fucking blackmail me? You seriously think that you can send me this report and say, you better shut up or I'm going to publish this report and destroy your life's work? You seriously think I'm going to go with that? Me? You seriously think that? I don't do fear. You should know that. We went to Gaza together, brother. I walked down through that tunnel first. You didn't even want to fucking go down the tunnel. I crawled through that tunnel first.
It's weird because, like, in a wee bit, he talks about how he doesn't think, he thinks he's COINTELPRO.
The way, you know, and I've got so many questions about that trip, and I've got so many questions about everything. So I think, okay, you're going to hang me out to dry, not a problem. But he doesn't. He doesn't hang me out to dry. He gets a new team. Okay, so I've got the last team in check because...
Oh, he doesn't hang him out to dry. He's just all this argument, knows it's a pyramid scheme, haven't they paid the old team, he gets a new team, but Max is still willing to go along.
I've got Max there. I've got Max on a leash because I've got this subversion report that I'll expose him if the team says anything. And I'm looking at all this, and then he gets a new team. He's still working on it. And then he's all sorts of stuff. He's trying to get Matt, the programmer. Like Matt is a lovely guy, Matt Dow. Does the community connector for the Full Circle project.
The Full Circle project. Circle. Good film. Go and join the Full Circle project.
Trying to get him involved.
When did he appoint this new team, Max? When did he surround himself with new
after the Free Your
support?
Mind conference, after the other team.
After the Free Your Mind conference. So Max is still with them on the 17th of April 2016. Wow, Max. Wow.
Walked away, and after he thought he had me on a leash, he got a new team to keep working on the new World Citizen project. And then Matt and William have sat down, they've looked at it all and figured out this is a fucking pyramid scheme.
Right, now just before we get into why you believe that it is a pyramid scheme, and we'll talk about Dominica, I was going to do a quick recap.
That fat Irish guy speaks, and then let's go to 3125.
You are. What you're saying about him, it doesn't get any more serious than that. You're now making statements that basically say that from the get-go, this was set up to fail, and it was set up to line Ken's pockets and to fill his bank account with massive amounts of money.
Now, this is where man in the mirror, for sure, Right, the people's voice. I wonder if they've still got a YouTube fucking channel and shit. What's that? Never. I really don't know. Can find out. Use the mainstream don't broadcast. Sounds eerily familiar, like Itchy Richie, doesn't it? 3 years ago, aye. Look at this, yes, Alex Jones on, yeah, broadcasting Alex Jones, beautiful. Oh, there's Itchy Richie himself! Oh, look at his wee fucking baldy bastard head! Looks dead different there, man. It was when he fucking, before he get fat off Alex Jones's fucking gravy train. Richie Allen, oh man, look up there, podcast. Right, so again, this is why they try and appropriate all this shit and have no self-awareness. Please tell me I haven't cancelled that. Now, apply what he's about to say here to the People's Voice and think, do you think the People's Voice was a pyramid scheme? Recruits members by the promise of payments or services for enrolling others into the scheme. People's Voice, very much like... I'm getting lost here.
If that's true, Max, Ken would face criminal charges and criminal proceedings. What evidence do you have to support your belief that this is a pyramid scheme, which is a gravely serious thing? You know, a pyramid scheme.
David Icke's a pyramid scheme.
I mean, I, if you just bear with me a second.
David Icke's People's Voice.
I had written down the legal definition of it. And the legal definition of it is, it's a business model that recruits members through a promise of payments for services.
The People's Voice.
For enrolling others into, that recruits members through a promise of payments or services for enrolling others into the scheme, rather than supplying investments or sale of products or services. It's
People's Voice.
It doesn't get any more serious. Why do you believe that he's running a pyramid scheme that he's
of
fully
the
aware
flourishing independent
Because
media?
there is no legal standing to this document. There is absolutely none. He's going around recruiting ambassadors to get other people to sign into the contract because we need lots of people, so we've got
Max
the
was an
numbers to make
ambassador.
it happen. But everybody's got to sign up for a $12 payment for this piece of paper that they're going to get. And by the time they figure it all out, he's on Dominica where there's no extradition. You know, he was very careful. Come and live on Dominica, Max. This is the place to be. There's no extradition from Dominica. He told me all these things.
You're jumping forward a bit there now, and I understand. I know you're really passionate about this, mate, and I know you are, and I don't want...
Now I start to question every single thing this man's done. I start to question my entire relationship with him. I start to question how he does any of the things he does. How did he get us into Bali with one phone call, into Gaza with one phone call?
That was how many years ago, Max? And it's took you this long to throw the drummy out, and then now you're fucking using that thing? That would fucking draw questions enough to go, who is this guy back then? And you obviously had the wherefore out to be asking that question, and then you lead us to believe everything. Oh man, it just doesn't add up.
I've been trying to get back into Gaza for 4 years. Who does that?
And for 4 years, try to get back in for 4 years and you haven't, and then this is you just now all of a sudden having a problem with Ken O'Keefe.
Who is this guy? How does he do that? How did he do any of the stuff he does? How did he get to Australia? How did he go do that flight and get to Malaysia without a visa to enter into Australia? I know people in America that try to fly to Australia to get a flight from Texas to LA to Sydney, and they can't even fly from Texas to LA on American Airlines because they don't have an Australian visa. They can't even fly on an internal flight from Texas to LA.
I will put those questions to him now next Monday.
To Australia, how the fuck do you get to Malaysia with no visa?
Hang on a second.
Who is this guy?
Hang on a second.
Who is this guy? Who gets this into Gali? Who stands up and screams their face off at Hamas when they're being interrogated? A man who screams their face off and swears at Hamas when we're being interrogated by border security is a man who knows he is in absolutely no fucking danger of being damaged at all.
Right,
Who the fuck is this guy?
I want to stick with you're obviously seizing.
Who the fuck is this guy? Ken
Let
O'Keefe
me
is
finish now.
COINTEL. You are fucking COINTEL,
Max,
Ken.
hang on a
You've
second
been a
now.
plant right from the fucking beginning.
Hang on a
and
second now.
that's what I'll call right fucking now.
Right, look.
Right, so he's been a plant right from the beginning, that's what he calls now. But it took him ages and months and trips round the world with him to figure this out, and about 2 teams and all sorts of shit. Now, let's go to 45 and wrap this one up.
To fund my, Caribbean lifestyle. And in fact, look, here is the account information for the World Citizen contract. And in fact, the money that was donated is accounted for, and it's here. What if he comes out and says that and is able to demonstrate that? You'll have a problem then, won't you?
Not particularly, because Ken got quite a large inheritance recently from his mother, so it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, a jail-free card. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying that Ken did or didn't or whatever, but it's kind of dead convenient that he offers that up as a...
If he still has the money sitting in an account, just sitting there, so, oh, look, no, it's all still good.
Anyway, that's that one. I've done that one. Let's go back to Max Egan. This one now. Max on Zen, 8 minutes in.
Now we've discovered that the original plan of this legal document, or this lawful standing to prevent us funding war, isn't going to happen. So what is the mission? What are we supporting? All our faces are out there, our names are out there supporting this project, and none of us now know what we are supporting. So I'm trying to get answers from him, and I'm not getting any answers. And then the team is basically freaking out, saying they want to go public, and I'm saying, well, hang on a minute, this is my friend. I want to give this guy every opportunity to do the right thing. So I meet him in Philadelphia, and we end up having basically a screaming match with each other. And folks, I've been travelling for 59 hours. I've been awake. I've been travelling for 46 hours. Ken's
my bum hurt,
giving me all this legal stuff, and I'm going, okay, well, you got some idea. Just deliver the goods, and I'll keep the team off your back. Just deliver the goods, and let's see where we're going with all this. Let's see what you've got, because we need to have something that's actually going to work, not just some pipe dream, you know. And then the next thing I know, I get the subversion report in the mail. And I look at this and I think, okay, well, what is this? Now, I'm being accused of subverting the mission because I'm asking questions and the mission just isn't what it appears to be. So this makes me question everything that I've ever done with Ken.
Right, but he still proceeded and didn't raise the alarm. People still gave away their money from this point on. Right, 11:10. I'm so hungry, it's untrue, man.
And he's going to launch this big project. And I notice he's aligned himself with all of the independent media. And I'm thinking, well, if this project goes off, and this is a pyramid scheme, it's going to bring down the entire independent media. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what do I do? What do I do from this point? I've pleaded with...
You tell people the truth?
Ken, I've pleaded and I've pleaded and I've pleaded. I've asked for questions, I've asked for answers. And all I've got is a subversion report and accusations that I want to have sex with his girlfriend. What is this? What is this? So I've got to question. I've got to question everything. And when I did that show with Richie Allen, I mean, in my defence, I was given half an hour's notice to do that show. I tried to...
Again, oh, my butt hurt. Making excuses. I didn't have enough sleep. All he does is moan about, travelling around the world.
To do it, the connection was bad. It wouldn't allow it, so we resigned to record it when there was a connection, which ended up being 3 a.m. in the morning for me. So I got up and recorded that show. It was 3 a.m. I'd been awake for 5 minutes, and I was quite emotional. And I put forth a lot of questions that weren't related to this World Series. Is that what you think? You think you can release it is out of respect for your life's work? What do you mean my life's work, Ken? I mean, seriously, what do you think a few podcasts and a few videos is my life's work? Really? Is that what you think? You think you can affect my career? I don't have a career, Ken. This isn't a career. I never wanted to do this. I'm a guitar player who suddenly got thrust into this. You know, all of these conspiracy theories about I'm this and I'm that. I'm a guitar player who made a slideshow, who got interviewed by a radio host, and people happened to like my voice, and I got offered a radio show. So I'm able to get up there and speak my mind. That's all I am. I'm not anything. I'm a nobody. I'm a perfect example that you don't have to be somebody to make a difference. All you have to do is be prepared to speak. So I don't have a career. There's no career for you to ruin. And you can't ruin my life's work, because my only life's work is my own work on my own life. And unless you're threatening my life, you can't ruin my life's work. So it's not about that. It's about the fact that a lot of people donated a lot of money for a project, and they thought it was something, and now it seems to be something else. And we don't know what it is. But you look at all of the red flags that I saw all the way along the line. Everything that I saw all the way along the line, and you get to the point where this is about to be launched and this looks like a pyramid scheme. I can get no joy out of anybody for anything. I can get no answers out of anybody, and I start to have real questions about who you really are. So for my own safety, I went as public as possible, and I warned you about this. I warned you if you ever tried to cross me, I would sting you like you would not believe, because
this sounds true.
That's who I am. And when it comes out, when that sting comes out, Ken, and when it comes out, I can't control it. I just go where spirit leads me, and I don't care if I sting.
He's fucking possessed with demons and goes around punishing people. Fucking crazy old man. Crazy fool. Those demons should tell you to fucking eat maybe 2 meals a day. It's relatively a healthy place to start.
Myself to death in the process, because this looks like a lot of people are about to be ripped off, and a lot of people are about to be burnt. And I've got no explanations from you. I've got no explanations from anybody. So all you people out there who are accusing me of this and accusing me of that, whatever, you know, I don't really care. Whatever you accuse me of, whatever gets you
me think you should protest this too muchest.
Off, work your way through it, I don't know. But you see all these red flags that I saw up to this point, and you tell me, what would you have done? What would you have done at this point? You know, when I can see the damage that this could do, what would you have done? I didn't think that I had any other choice. What am I going to do? Go to the police? Why would I go to the police?
Because somebody's committing fraud. What you'll find is in a lot of places around the world, pyramid schemes, which you're so convinced it is illegal. And if not illegal, morally corrupt. So if you publicise it, people will stop giving money to the corrupt fucking scheme. You baldy old fucking bastard. How stupid do you think people are?
I speak out about these people all the time. What's this going to do? Tie it up in illegal red tape? It's rubbish. That's happened with every other fundraiser.
Make a YouTube video, tell people to stop fucking donating to Ken O'Keefe before he cuts you off. See if you don't say anything before he cuts you off, makes you look like you're only saying something because he's cut you off. You fucking baldy old cunt.
Ken's done, and look at him now. He's still doing it, you know. And for him to turn on me the way he did, I don't know. This guy was my friend. And why did I wait so long? Because he's my friend. You know, I'm an empath, folks. I really feel for people, and I really care.
Why did that? You're an empath? Right, hold on. Your friend versus the thousands of people that donated? Fucking empath. You're a fucking sociopath, you baldy old bastard. But listen to this one. Again, delusions of grandeur.
Folks, and all these rumours about this rumour, someone's put up there the picture of Ken and I and David Icke. Look at them.
That is me. I'm pretty sure that was me.
Thick as thieves, you know. Thick as thieves, folks. You know, I've met David twice, David Icke.
Yeah, that means when you know you're trying to poke somebody with a stick, with all your insults and stuff, it is actually having an effect. Look, he's explaining, like, it was a stupid meme picture I put up with him and David Icke giving each other blowjobs.
I met him when he came to Australia. We went out
talking about them being part of this Truffer Industrial Complex
to Ayers Rock, because the guy who organised the tour organised for me to come along. And I met him again that day that photo was taken with Ken and I. That was actually the first time Ken ever met David Icke. David was speaking at the, I don't know what the venue was on Isle of Wight, and I was in England. It was in 2012. It was the first time I'd ever been to England. First time I'd ever actually met Ken O'Keefe, and I was staying at his house.
Oh, first time you met Ken O'Keefe, he was doing sacrifices on the Isle of Wight with Lizard Man himself. Now, let's listen what happens when, like, this guy, old man's a ninja.
Up to him, and I told him that I would do this if he didn't do the right thing. I told him that I would snap. I warned him that I was getting close to snapping. And when I snap, shit just happens, folks. It just does, you know. But I don't encourage any bad action against Ken. And hey, you can think whatever you like of me, whatever gets you through. To be honest, I'm, you know, seriously thinking about packing it all in anyway. I can't really afford to do this anymore. I've spent my entire life savings trying to wake the world up. I get a lot of complaints from people as well. Oh, look, he asked for donations. You know, folks, I did this for 8 years before I even set up that.
I don't complain, I just hate the way that you piss and moan about fucking travelling around the fucking world as if you're doing something that you can't do via the internet.
Patreon account for people to be able to offer regular subscriptions. And you still don't have to subscribe to get all the access of the website. You know, I've put a lot into it.
Right, hold on a second. Where is his fucking Patreon? Did I have this? Let's see if this works. Right. Use the face bag. That's going to be your fucking ID. It's going to be Facebook Global Internet ID. Right, look. 11 patrons, $50 a month. You can choose or not to choose, and by default it is allowed to see. And Max Egan's get 100. So God knows how much he's making. Good luck to him, man. Consider being a patron for me if you want. But I believe this guy can have more than 4 meals a day.
And I've done what I can to try to wake the world up, but I don't have any resources left.
4 meals a week.
I did have, you know, all my SGs, all my guitars, all my stuff, but I've sold it all. I've got rid of everything. And I've just lived off my savings and off the stuff that I've had.
Victim? Anybody feeling sorry for him yet?
For the last 8-10 years while I've dedicated everything into trying to wake the world up. And it's been a full-time job. But now I've got nothing left. You know, all I can depend on is if people want me to keep going, if they do like the radio shows, if they want the films and they want me to keep going, I need help, I need support. And I'm down to 9.
Remember, this stuff exactly fell into the exact same time frame as the adpocalypse kind of thing as well.
Don't now. I make enough money from the website to be able to pay my rent, put petrol in the car, and have about 4 meals a week. And
4 meals a week.
That's not really a lot to ask. That's not really a lot. That's not really profiteering from anything. People ask, how does he get to travel all around the world?
4 meals a week isn't profiteering, mate. It's close to poverty.
And stay in all these exotic places. Well, the people who organise the gigs organise for me to fly there, folks, and they organise the accommodation.
Well, you know what? You see, while you're flying around the world 24/7, you should ask them to give you fucking 3 meals a day, mate. 3 meals a day. Just saying, it isn't too much to ask to be fucking fed, so you don't turn out to look like a skinny fucking junkie bastard. Just saying. And wrap this up.
Just to show us what this mission is. Because if we're supporting a mission and we don't know what it is, and it costs $12 each for everybody to sign up, and you want them
$12, remember initially it was $1.
to sign up more, and I can just see a lot of money being funneled into a situation where, okay, you know, this media hub that you always talked about, that you wanted to set up on Dominica, you know, if that's what it was about, you should have said that in the beginning. You shouldn't have...
Power of suggestion. So there you go, went through a good few bits of Max Egan. Hopefully he's appreciate that. The most important thing I wanted to concentrate on was the timeline. So he went from December in Bali to Acapulco in February to the Free Your Mind project in April in Philadelphia. All those months saying he knew what was happening, and if you go and listen to it carefully, he indicates he thought it was a pyramid scheme in Bali. Then he later changed it, but anyway, Things that don't make sense to me about that. The stuff I just pointed out. The People's Voice, remember that? Ponzi scheme. You want to become a patron? Stick in a couple of quid each month. Consider it. Links below. Right, finished with this shit. Sent him a message. Pyramid scheme. Jungle Nut Bar.
Well, not a great day here yesterday, you know, like baseball it is, isn't it? And so just hanging by the old proverbial thread. What the way forward will have to be to set up a website. And of course it's going to be...
It's been hot with the adpocalypse. So again, like victim, absolute victim. And I feel he's paying to a certain extent. I mean, there was a point where I was sucked in with the bull crap of YouTube thinking, oh, I could do that for a career and all that shit. Not understanding you're just getting played with, toyed with, just used by the corporations to suck up the information of how people will interact with it. Then they corporatise it and fucking give it to who they deem fit to make money from. Anyway, so I do feel he's paying a wee bit. But I think ultimately as well, you need. My opinion would be we should have a bit more self-realisation of what's really went on here, and making money for sticking up shite on YouTube shouldn't be anything that anybody wants to aspire to. Putting shite anywhere isn't anywhere that somebody should aspire to. So YouTube should be no different.
Be quite a bit of an expense because I'm not real savvy with all those sort of higher level there. You have to employ somebody. It's the only way I can keep going, I think, because, you know, things are just getting very tough. And
you can still make YouTube videos, mate. It's just YouTube probably isn't monetizing all your stuff.
That's the way it is. So I recently set up the Patreon thing, and all of 2 supporters there, $5. So I mean, that's not going to get the expertise I need, unfortunately.
Need for what, mate?
But the people on the PayPal...
You're looking at photographs and video that's available on the interweb so people can get them in the best resolution themselves and saying, yeah, it's fake.
It was some really...
And again, mate, I really think you are just...
amazing there. There was a couple of people who threw in there and helped me along there. But again, for the 8 years' work and 5,000 videos.
And what journey have you went on, mate? It's like, and this is what I mean. I got probably at the beginning you were probably looking into some good, interesting stuff, and maybe this is just my opinion, and ultimately you've ended up batshit fucking crazy, really batshit crazy.
You know, we're ticking over, and now it's just decimated. So you know, I'm a blogger. You can go and help us out there, or as I said, there's a silly thing here I'll show you. This thing here. And that's how...
So he needs money for his Screencast-O-Matic, which is free.
Well supported the good things are, too. So I'll thank Joanna and Sam there. Terrible day for YouTube, you know, well, for not YouTube itself, great day for them, red letter day for them, but for all the people who were interested in
what exactly?
A bit of better learning.
Mate, come on to fuck, in all seriousness, you stood on a skateboard and threw a bit of wood off it and said because you didn't move forward proves that rockets are fake. Rockets in space don't work.
It's certainly been destroyed now, hasn't it? And what can we do, you know?
It's not been destroyed. You can still spout all that shit. It's just you can no longer sit there and make a quite comfortable living off that by just making uber retardation fucking speculations.
We're all under the master's hand. I was amazed that we ever even were allowed to communicate like that in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But suggestions would be good. Maybe somebody will set a website up for me and
I just come along, spoon feed you.
somehow send it to
Need it.
me that I can use. I don't know. That's a battle, you know. Again, I'm getting a bit old for this sort of battle. There's no young people that care, and I got friends who support the very people who would do this.
Mate, come on, right? Like, hold on, right? I do feel his pain in the sense that ultimately, again, he's just another victim of YouTube collecting data, and then when they've got enough of them, they're like, because that guy would have been making not a fortune, but enough money to keep him happy, and you can obviously hear it affecting him. But July 16th, not too long ago, this is what he seems to think they're censoring. And look at the way he's going around doing his videos now to get through the censors to try and get them monetised. And unfortunately, look, there's, let's say a few of them are his own channel. There's 50 people out there who believe him in the suggestion that rockets aren't real.
I'm working on a new style of video delivery. The new style is the out of the spotlight, underneath the radar, like that song said.
What he means by that, I'm assuming, I think, is he's not going to actually talk about all the fakery and hoaxes directly because the Illuminati are censoring those videos. And they're not making them advertising friendly, because the last thing the Illuminati want to do is make anything advertising friendly.
And you just need to use comments and keep the information. Well, a lot of people already know a lot of things now, so we'll move forward underneath the radar.
That's not good.
Right, that corkscrew effect makes perfect sense. Like, I think some rockets, well, I know bullets, when you rifle them, they obviously spin in air, and I think some rockets deliberately do that because with the spinning of the rocket, like when you understand a gyroscope. Has anybody ever played with a gyroscope? You know gyroscopes are real, right? I mean, it's wow, whoa, this thing's sticking out, oh, it's floating, but they're real, right? If you apply your brains and shit, you can fucking understand this shit. No, this guy thinks rockets are fake.
The V2 rocket, the Germans had left the British far behind in rocket technology. Nevertheless, the launch of RTV-1 was a start.
A lot of other technologies that we... So the word I have for this is fantastic. And fantastic is going to apply to a lot of machines and a lot of other technologies that we've covered in the past before, and we've used other words, but fantastic.
Right, that is fantastic. He's trying to allude that it's all fake, right? Go and check it out, the context, if you want. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. I'm getting real hungry. That's 2 hours I've done.
Hello. Reality is falling apart. That's really what's happening today.
Run for the hills.
Not today, I mean in general, in this time period. I look at my news feed on
This
Facebook,
is CNN.
It's constantly filled with people who are they're meat golem skin jobs, and they're revealing in enormous ways.
Now let's go to our
Most
guest.
common
He
ways
is
are the SJW types, the most extreme ones, and the likes of the ones who like scream and shout and roar and have tantrums and fall apart and make no coherent sense. Along with them, we also have these people who think they're multiple genders. They're not multiple genders. They're psychiatric. Well, they're falling apart.
If you were just to pause him there, he just looked like a confused old man now, doesn't he? He looks just like a confused old man who's got a fucking very tangled beard.
Because what's inside there?
I'm just very confused.
There's kind of like a soulless entity, and it's a skin job, meat golem, whatever, and it's the facade that it's held it together is not staying integrated as basically humanity goes through a shift in consciousness. Now, I'm not talking about a person who maybe be a man and want to become a woman because they feel they're a woman, or a woman who wants to become a man. That's okay. I'm talking about somebody, like, I'm talking about the kind of things I'm seeing now, like a woman who becomes a man, but she retains her human or female human sexual reproduction organs along with a new penis, so she can still have a period and a menstrual cycle. This
guy's obsessed with fucking menstrual blood. Don't go and drink this, ladies. Anyway, I can't be arsed fucking listening to this prick, so I'm going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody that's joined. Hopefully next week I'll have a lot more to go into, so stay tuned for that as well. Maybe you've got something from tonight, maybe a laugh, maybe a different way of looking at them. I don't want to tell anybody how to think, just maybe maybe just the concept that you're allowed to think about these, you're allowed to be skeptical about these, about these people that have been used by the culture creators and put in pedestals. You're allowed to be skeptical. And if you want me to say hi to you, stick your name in the chittity chat right now and I'll get round and say hi. Remember, stick a thumbs up if you want to, if you appreciate Not the Infowars nightly news. Feel free to stick a wee thumbs up. It is much appreciated. If I can find my mouse. What's going on here? There we go. Oh shit, what's going on? Why is that? Why am I so confused? There we go. Sort that out. Anyway, so why is that like that? Anyway, no worry about that there. So hopefully you've enjoyed Not the Infowars Nightly News. Remember, the original alternative look at the alternative media. Skeptical about the skeptics, and watch the motherfucking Watchmen, because somebody's got to do it. So tune in next Tuesday for more Not the Infowars Nightly News. Any ideas, feel free to come back to this stream and leave them below. You want me to say hi to you, stick your name in the chat before I go. If you want to show any support, Patreon and PayPal buttons down below. Both are very much appreciated and needed in these climates. Although the reality of ever being able to do this is some sort of a career. The pennies just dropping. It's not the ride. It's not saying the ride. The ride's been more than worth it. Just the outcome is different from what I thought it would be. You know what I mean? You're like, oh wow, man, there's something you love, your fucking hobby, you love, and there's an opportunity to do it as a career, and then boom, the rug gets taken away. So, but that is the reality. And I feel people's pains out there that are getting affected with this shit. But like all these things in life, you should use them to try and man up, strengthen up, make you stronger, or woman up if you've got ovaries. But anyway, thanks for watching. Tune in on Monday. Tune in on Friday for See Through the F.E.A.R. Porn Friday. Tune in tomorrow night for Reality Chat. Tune in on Monday for Soul Excalibur and any other the live hangouts that I share on the community page. So check that all out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell as well, and you'll get all the live on the street stuff that I'll be doing as of Friday as well. I'm going to Stirling Castle tomorrow. I've not got any data in my phone as of yet. If I get a donation, I might actually do it. I should live stream, but that's weather dependent, and it's 50-50. Alright to YouTube, thanks for listening. Catchies.
It's a F.E.A.R. It's a F.E.A.R. It's F.E.A.R. Come on. It keeps the cheese and the maze and the rats and the race and those peasants in the days like a head up on lace. It's a F.E.A.R. Come on.
Keeps
clear.